His is a very recognizable voice. I mean, some people just have voices that are, you can just hear, a couple of words and you know who it is.
Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks. We'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We've got your back, no wreck. We've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in the fun, engaging way.
Hey everybody, welcome to the kitchen where we are on, it's like Christmas Eve as we await the big drop on Monday of, shall we just call it the brand new Zoom? I don't know. We'll take a look at it today, but there's some big changes coming, it looks like, to Zoom coming this Monday. But we will start just by saying hi to everybody. Mr. Latta, how you doing, sir?
Good, Mr. Paskin. How has been the week?
You know what?
How has been?
Pretty good. Here's the mission that I'm on. Maybe you all can help me with this. I am looking for the best wired mouse out there. I don't want Bluetooth. I don't want any of those stupid dongle things. I want a wired mouse. But here's the thing, Frank. Wait a second. I also kind of want it to be an ergonomic mouse. And I'm finding that's okay. Frank's holding it up. All right. You'll have to tell me later what you got. You guys can put them in the chat. I'm looking right now at the Anchor USB wired vertical mouse. I've never tried a vertical mouse before, so I don't know. In any case, moving right along. John Drinkwater, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing very Christmassy, thank you. And I'm not
You
going to give you
look-
advice on mice because I tend to just hit it so hard I break them on a regular
really?
basis. Yeah.
You look very, very festive. You got the sweater and the little gingerbread house and everything.
Yes,
You know,
I have
you
a selection of overlays for your dedication.
You know, you Christians, you really know how to do a holiday. Us Jews, we don't really. What did John Stewart say that Christians, you know, Christmas, it's the birth of the Lord and Savior. What's Hanukkah? The oil lasted a little longer than we thought it would.
Well,
Such
and
a
you
lame
haven't
holiday.
you haven't commercialized your holiday quite so much.
Oh, yes, we have. You may not see it in your stores, but believe me. Oh, Muddy, you love your Logitech Vertical? All right. I might have to get that. It's wireless, though. Yeah. Tony Mobley. Tony Mobley. How you doing, sir? Good to see you here.
Greetings. Happy to be here.
Happy to see you here. Robert Sababadababadababadalicious.
Yeah, I've been with you guys for the last 2 hours watching Rundown last night's
Oh,
edition.
gosh.
So that was a very emotional
Last night was
session.
it was a good show. I really learned a lot last night. I really did.
So thank you, guys. It's
Good
really
stuff. Thank you. Frank, with the white paper, I mean, I saw the notes, but it wasn't on a white paper. How do you get that?
You have to be special.
Yeah.
I have other surprises for you today too.
All right. There we go. It's a day full of surprises. No surprise though to have Muddy here. How you doing, Muddy?
Hey, it's me, Muddy. Good to be here.
is you,
Yeah, glad to be here on a Friday. I don't always get this time slot open to join live. Sometimes I'm watching on YouTube, so nice to be here in the room.
I'm really glad that you're here. By the way, you should know that what makes your videos that you do so special, the content is great, but that smile of yours, honest to God, Muddy. I mean, really, like it's just, you draw us in. You really do. You draw us in with your heart. And so thank you for
I
that.
received that warmly. Thank you.
Miss Lois Richter, how are you?
I'm fine.
Well, good to see you.
That's it. I'm fine.
That's it. Nothing more to say. Ray Harwood may have a few things to say. Ray, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. Yeah, I too sort of am looking at the mixed bag of goodies and possibly a lump of coal or two from Zoom.
Oh, really?
Can't wait to talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. A lump of coal, we'll see. All right. Hasmak, how are you, sir?
I'm fine. I'm a very proud Secretary of Domestic Affairs. It's
Wait, what?
8 minutes past 10 in the evening here, and my spouse knows that 10 o'clock in the evening is sacred time. So I get all the space and encouragement to be with my friends. That I call a successful Secretary of Domestic Affairs.
Wow.
And then
And
that meeting
she
was
gets some
cancelled.
time off too.
She
Can't wait to get away from me.
That's fantastic. All right. So let's jump
Peter.
into this.
Peter.
Oh, did I miss Peter? Peter, I'm so sorry.
Well, I'm here. It's Friday.
You are here.
It's Friday afternoon. As I was telling Robert earlier, I did a live event earlier this week that fortunately I didn't have to take any of the hit for the content, and it technically went off fine, but the content was abysmal.
Hey, I'm sorry. All right. So let's dive in. We had a little tiny update with just some bug fixes across all of the platforms this past week. But we heard that there's going to be on December 15th, 6.7. We're jumping from 6.6.10, or are we? Is that where are we on 1.2 now? Let me check. We are on, at least on the Mac, and I think we should all be together. We are on 6.6.11, excuse me. 6.6.11. We're moving to 6.7. And I don't know. I mean, Frank, I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you want to kind of give us some of the highlights from the update? I mean, it's the one thing I'll say about this is that we've talked a little bit about having sort of a dumb setting for Zoom, and then this feels like they're kind of doing that a little bit.
Oh, I should have worn my community shirt because I'm going to reference this. 6.7 is going to be a big change graphically. I don't think the feature set changes that much. It's the UI they're changing. A lot of people are going to be angry in the community forums on if it happens Monday. Sometimes they're late, but because you spent all this time figuring out where everything is, and they're going to move it all. So all the functionality is still going to be there. I would have loved to have been at the internal Zoom meetings where they were debating doing this. Like, they're going to take some heat for this. They must think it's worth it in the long run, but changing the entire UI and moving things around from the places we're used to seeing them is, some people hate change. They're going to get some heat for this for sure.
Yeah. So let me show you. There are some screenshots here in the white paper. So let me share some of these so we can kind of talk them through. So this is a before shot. This is what we've had now. One of the big changes that's coming is how Zoom handles the more menu. So right now you've got more and just sort of a vertical up and down thing.
Could you move your face, please?
Oh, goodness. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Bye. So here you go. This is what it looks like currently. And this is what it's going to look like in the change. So I mean, there are a couple of things going on here. So first of all, you've got the more menu now opens up into sort of more of a grid or a gallery, if you will. Now grid, let's use grid. And then you also have correct me if I'm wrong, because I always pop all my windows out. So maybe this is how it works now. But currently, when you open up video effects, that's a pop out, right? Or does that come up as a sidebar currently?
It pops out as part of your settings.
It does. It's part of your settings. So now it looks like it's built in. It's built in. It like pops up as a sidebar now. Am I correct? Only because I never keep things in line with my. Well, let me actually try it. So hold on. So right now,
and most of the
It
time,
pops
David,
out.
most of the time, David, they give you the option to pop it out if you don't want it built in there. And I
Right.
don't see the pop out button on this one.
right.
Sad
So
to
let me.
say.
I'll show everyone what I'm talking about here. So this is. Here's our meeting right here. So if I were to click on video settings, currently, I just get a separate window. It looks like in this new version, it's going to come up as a side panel, which I wonder if you will. I don't see a pop out. So usually, like for participants, this button right there on the top right, if the sidebar is attached to your Zoom window, to your gallery view or speaker view, you have a pop-out button, which you have here on participants. You also have it if you open up chat within here. If I open up, where's my chat? It should open up. Oh, I already, oh no, I closed it. Sorry. Chat. There you go. And then I can pop it out right there. But it doesn't look like we have that over here. There's no pop out button. So I don't know.
There's a little X though.
No, that'll close it.
Yeah.
That won't pop it out. All right, let me go. Let's go down because there's another one here. So here's currently. So the meeting chat, the way it looks currently. And Did they just make it? I don't
They turned
understand.
everything black. Why did they turn it black?
Well, but are they just
You
showing
still
us
have
dark mode? I don't
still have
understand.
daylight and dark mode, I think.
Yeah, I think this is just daylight and dark mode. So what's the difference between this one and this
Dark
one? I'm not
mode.
sure.
Dark
The
mode.
chat menu follows the colorization of the regular
Oh, but it
window.
doesn't now?
No, it
My
doesn't.
chat menu, I'm in
That's
dark mode
'cause
and my
you're
chat menu is dark.
That's because you're in dark mode. Those of us who like it white don't switch to dark mode.
No, no, no. But what we're saying is this one here, this is not in dark mode. Correct or no?
Correct.
Right. And so I'm not sure how this is any different because currently, if you're in dark mode, the chat is dark. So I'm not sure how this is different.
So
What
when
am I-
you're in dark mode, David, your chat is also dark. It's not white, right?
Correct.
So that's the difference.
No, but we're talking about a before and after. This is
Yeah.
currently how it looks. So this is after this new update. I don't see anything new on this on this after thing.
Except that it went dark. That's the only difference.
No, but that's not
David,
new.
just to clarify, are you saying that in your current environment, your chat window is not in dark mode?
It is.
It is.
So
in dark
here's
mode.
so I'm in dark mode and my
Right.
chat window is in dark mode.
Right.
And
Mine's
these
not.
two
I'm in
these two
dark
images
mode, but the chat window is in light mode.
say that again, Ray?
I'm in dark mode, but the chat window is in light mode.
Ah, okay. So that's what I was talking about. So that's interesting. I wonder if that's a Mac PC thing, or you're on PC, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So maybe
so
this is
I'm going to confuse you then because I'm on PC. I've got the appearance in settings general. And when I flip from light mode to dark mode, my meeting chat goes from light to dark.
yeah. So it's just not clear to me what the change is, but Robert, what do you think?
I think the change is as follows. The share button is no longer green.
Oh, the green button changed.
Yep.
You think, wait, are you serious? Do you really think that's it? That's insane.
What I can see is obvious, and which is really actually challenging because it was so easy to say, click on the green button in the bottom menu, and people would find it. Now they're going to have to read it. So,
they gave us these two pictures to show us that difference.
And there's a difference up at the top. If you look, the name is just meeting over there. On the right-hand side, it gives you the name of the meeting.
What does ours do now? Does ours say anything? I don't see anything at the top of ours.
No, I don't see anything at the top of ours.
Mine just says
I don't see
workplace.
anything of it. Mine doesn't even say workplace.
And I can go back, if you can go back to the previous layout, David, for a second. Anyone who uses MS Teams knows exactly what they've done.
What can you describe that a little more?
Yeah, what you see on the right-hand side is more or less the type of layout you have in MS Teams. So it looks as if they're trying to make it easier for people to move over from MS Teams onto Zoom, because you don't have any of the pop-ups coming up. Everything is embedded in
Interesting. So let's see what else they've got here. So settings are now in one convenient place for faster access. The primary toolbar, you can pin frequent features. You can also, this is one of the changes that I think is fantastic is we haven't gotten to it yet, but you can pin a message in chat, which I'm actually think that's a great feature that's coming.
Yeah.
You can rearrange your primary toolbar buttons, but I thought you could already do that. You can already drag items from more to the toolbar. Yeah, the right panel. User settings are now in a right panel. I'm really curious if that's, boy, I'm not going to like it if I can't pop that out. That's going to be really inconvenient. App level feature settings now accessible in the right settings panel. Consolidated host controls for hosts. Yada yada yada. Okay. See if there's anything in. Oh, and then they've done the same to mobile. They've made a bunch of changes to mobile. So again, you get the grid now. I feel like they've made the to add the name of the meeting at the top. They've actually made the image a little smaller, just a hair. And they've added they just rearranged a bunch of stuff. It looks like. Huh.
I think that's a bit of poor graphics cutting, because if you look at the images, the middle one and the right hand one, same image, they've just been cropped slightly differently.
And if you look at the space at the very top, it looks like they haven't placed the time and the network icons correctly.
Properly. Interesting. And they got rid of the big leave button at the top. That's interesting. They moved that to the bottom, which is exactly what it is on desktop.
It's consistent. I think part of this is a move to make the mobile experience more consistent with the desktop.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Yeah, Frank, I was just going to come back to you. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. I just want to go a little macro for a second. This is part of, from what I understand, this will be setting the table for more innovation. More things will be changing all throughout next year. In January, they're going to change the web version of Zoom too. So they're doing the desktop client Monday, supposedly, and then in January they'll tackle doing the same sort of operation to the web-based Zoom meeting. And then for the rest of the year, they're going to be tinkering.
Wow. Let's look at this chat thing for a minute, because to me, I think this is actually maybe even more important than where buttons. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. To me, it's more important. So there's a sidebar. Oh, actually, wait. Before we do this, we have to look at what the app is going to look like, because that. So this is chat visual. Oh, so this is the chat, but this is in the app. This is not in meeting. Right? Yeah. So DMs are no longer called DMs. They're called chats now. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So
I think, David, it looks to me like this is team chat. This is not in meeting chat, because you've got
correct.
Okay.
I don't know
Wait
how
a
many
second.
people use team chat.
Wait,
I do.
hold on.
Use it all the time.
Before has the sidebar. I thought they were moving to a sidebar. I thought that's what I saw. They're getting rid of the sidebar
And putting it at the top instead.
which we just have to memorize what all those icons mean. Look at, I mean,
well, if you hover over them, it tells you what they mean.
The heck am I supposed to do? That's insane. Just having all those, just having 20 icons.
But move your mouse over the top and they tell you what they are.
These are just pictures, so they won't do that. But hopefully,
I know, but look at the picture to the left, and it did that.
No, I understand that. I'm just okay. I don't know. I prefer to have the names.
Don't move that picture for a second.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that the screenshots seem to be from their design team, and they've listed some of the people. I don't know if these are real names, but that's who you could blame if you're really angry, David. Just find these people and yell at them.
I agree with that, though.
Can you move a little to the left, David?
Of course.
See, that's what I was talking about. It hovered over chats and it said chats.
Right. I see what you're saying. Your point. Yeah. This piece right up here.
Yeah.
No, I understand. I just would prefer to know. Right. Yeah.
I actually think it's going to be better, because that means that the rest of it is wider. You aren't losing that space on the left. So I think that might be more readable.
But it doesn't
Maybe.
change the font size.
No, but you have more width to work with, I think is her point. All I'm saying is that like that hashtag at the top, there's no way that I would know that that's what channels is. I maybe if you live in it, if you live in this every day, then I'm probably being silly. Let's see if there are any other, here we go. So this is team chat again. So before and after. Yeah, apps, okay. And before and after. I'm not sure what's different.
And they've just moved the left sidebar to the top.
Tanya, if you're watching, join our meeting and explain this to us, please.
Yeah, Tanya. They also, and this is a smart move, I think. So if you look at the old one, Tanya, Daily Stand Up, Design Team, they're not indented at all. So it looks like they are at the, on level 1, along with DMs and channels, Project A. Whereas on the new one, they are indented all. So it's clear that they're part of chats and channels, I think.
Yeah.
And remember that the reason chats and channels is called chats and channels is because DMs are now chats. So do you have a chat on a yeah, I guess you chat on a channel. I don't know. Huh. All right,
Well,
let's see what else.
the ones with the hashtags are channels, and the ones with the folder are potentially one-to-one chats, but they can be, if you invite 2 or 3 people together in a chat, it can be 2 or 3 people, like the one down there with Regina Clark and Katie and Samuel. That's 3 people, but it's still considered a chat.
Well, what's the calendar icon then? That's a meeting, right?
Could be a,
for team sync. I
think
assume,
it's
yeah,
one of
that's a meeting.
the continuous meeting chats.
Yeah. No, look. So there's a difference actually. If you look over here at daily stand up, and I know it's not a high quality image, but you've got the calendar with kind of recycle, the ongoing. So this must be an ongoing chat. And then, oh, wait a second. No, that's the old one. Sorry. Oh, now I'm confused. The old
Maybe
one.
the icon changed.
Well, yeah, but what's interesting is that team over here, daily stand up and team sync have different icons. Over here, they have the same icon. Maybe, I don't know. So this looks like it's all, now this is all, that's mobile so far, right? This is the mobile experience. Here's the desktop app. Yeah, see, this is what I thought. See, now I was confused. So they're adding a left navigation bar in the desktop app, and they're getting rid of it in mobile. So the old one, which is what we have now, sorry, my screen is a little jumpy, is you've got all the options across the top. Home, team chat, contacts, phone. In the new version, those all move to the sidebar. That's why I got confused before. Which I'm a fan of, incidentally.
I am too. I'm a
yeah. I have. I don't know if you can see. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. So I'm using the ChatGPT Atlas browser, and one of the things that they, about a couple weeks in of releasing it, one of the things that they released is the ability to put your tabs across vertically, which is a big. If any of you have used Arc, the Arc browser, which got a lot of popularity amongst weirdos like me, that was one of the biggest features that people wanted. And so I'm a big fan of the sidebar. Go ahead, Frank. Sorry.
What was the name of the browser you're using from ChatGPT?
It's called Atlas, ChatGPT Atlas.
So I'm going to share my screen. Check this out. Zoom's going to have a web-based browser AI tool.
What?
What?
Zoom AI.us.
So maybe it'll be changing again. Well, I did make this. This is real. I was just in a meeting with Zoom and they showed this to me.
Wait, I'm signing up right now. Techguy.com. I want in. Okay. Well, it says at the bottom, this is the Google privacy policy and terms of service. Why would I don't are you sure this is a Zoom thing?
I just had a meeting with a guy from Zoom. That's how I found out about it. He showed it to us.
This doesn't look kosher, if I'm being honest. I mean,
Why would he lie?
You've got GoDaddy hosting all over the place, which means they're not paying for it to actually be housed somewhere. It says, I don't know.
I'm sure when it's ready, it won't say that, but that's what it says today.
This doesn't look kosher to me, but okay.
I assure you.
Well, that's interesting. Okay. We'll have yet another browser to play with. There you go. All right. So that's one of the big updates, it looks like, is that all of the top things are moving to the side. And then, okay, here we go. Workplace desktop will now feature a left side navigation bar. The more menu will organize your workspaces without cluttering your view. Yeah, and here again, we have DMs are called chats now. They've expanded to a 2-row tab layout to remove the 5-tab limit and eliminated the Files tab for a cleaner, more focused interface. Meeting chats will now be bolded with an optional message count. Okay, in-meeting toolbar the in-meeting toolbar will now only show essential controls for a more focused experience. You can pin and rearrange frequently used tools for quicker access. I don't think you can currently pin. You can currently move around, but I don't think you can pin things. All of your hosting tools will be grouped in one easy-to-find panel for a more simple meeting management experience. That, to me, sounds like, I mean, right now, all of our hosting capabilities are organized. They're in that one
No, they're not.
list. No, they're in that one list.
There are still things that are in the bottom of chat or participants or whatever that are not in your shield.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't think those are going to move. I think that all this means is that they're changing it from a list to a grid.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't actually think they're going to move that stuff.
Do you
We'll have
think
to
this will
see.
be persistent? So like I like these 5 things down here. I put them down there. They're going to be like that every time I go in, or is each and every meeting I'm going to have to reorganize?
Well, no, right now they're persistent, I believe. I
haven't
believe
played
if you
around
move
with
stuff
it.
right. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they're persistent. The only time I've ever lost it is a couple of times, I think like on Zoom 6.0, they did something and I had to reset all my things, but normally things stay persistent even between software updates.
I love that.
They're already apologizing. Look at this. There is no functionality lost with this update, only a more streamlined modern interface. If you currently have your in-meeting toolbar personalized, once you update to 6.7, 6.7.
I was waiting for someone to say something about that.
Sorry, you can't see me. I'm doing this with my hands. 6.7. I just caught that. After update, okay, so the personalizations will reset to the new default layout. And after update, you'll experience the refreshed toolbar design with simplified controls. You can easily drag and drop or pin, unpin options.
So I think what that says is that whatever customization you did now will not carry over.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, later on in this paper, they also say once you upgrade, there ain't no going back.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're up, and that's it.
Maybe I better turn off my automatic update.
Oh no, look at this. 30-day lead time. Allow customers to deploy the update on their own timeline.
I think that's for enterprise people
Yeah, it
who
must
install
be.
with MSI.
Yeah. Is this update required? No. Oh, unless your org requires a minimum app version before joining. And and you can't migrate, save, or restore any of that stuff. No functional changes. Everything's just moving. Exactly like you said, Frank. People are just going to get frustrated that they can't find stuff. And no, you cannot update. And here's the timeline. This is it. One date. But simplification rollout begins.
And I don't know about you guys, but I only got notified about this last week. So, like, thanks for giving me, 9 days notice about something this big.
Yeah. Well, but how do you really, I mean, how do you, okay, so now you know that these changes are coming. I'm not sure there's anything for us to do before they come.
Do you support 30,000 users?
No, but so what are you doing? I mean, you don't know exactly what the changes exactly are going to be.
I can stop them from happening if I want to.
I have turned off my automatic update just now, and I am not turning it on until after all this stuff is out and I see how other people are doing.
The thing I'm saying is, like, imagine you're a huge organization like your Ford Ford or Toyota, and you have a Zoom for every employee. Let's say you have 50,000 employees, and you make training materials with screenshots and documentation. It's all out the window, and they gave 9 days notice. This is not acceptable.
Well, and even for me, I do smaller events, but those are like if you normally have 20% of people you handhold, I have 80% of people who I handhold. Like they call me the second I send something out, and I have to go through person by person. So people are just not going to know where things are. And so it's just not a lot. Like I would love to be able to have a little more than 2 days to, or a few days to like be able to, like you said, Frank, put some training materials together. Cause I have an event coming up like right after the new year, and everybody's going to be on different things.
But again, I have, if we had early access, and maybe Frank does, or maybe other people do, if you have early access to this, then great. Then you can use the beta, you can create materials, you can orient yourself to it. But other than saying, as you did, Frank, turn updates off. Like I don't want, other than doing that one thing, I don't know. There's nothing else for us to do because I'm not going to create any new information based on these crummy screenshots. I just have to wait for it to come out, and
it's contextual. So I mean, for an individual user who pays for their own license, suck it up. But when you're supporting tens of thousands of people, your help desk is going to get swamped with, where is this? I can't find this. Help me do this. It becomes a burden. To only give 9 days notice is crazy.
I'm just not sure what you would do since you don't know how to, we don't know how to answer the questions that are going to be coming now because we don't have it ourselves. I'm not sure how we can prepare no matter how many days we have. That's all.
Maybe there should have been a private beta for organizations or something, so we could have.
I think that's probably my point. Right?
They can say, do not disclose until such and such a day.
Yeah.
But you can start making your screenshots now. You can't publish them anywhere, but you could have a website that's dark and turn it on the day that it goes live or something.
Absolutely.
We don't know that they haven't done that already. You just might not have been in the beta. I don't know.
Oh, that's true.
Right, but it seems to me that for enterprise, if you're handling 30,000, however many, then yes, they should give you a 30-day window in which you can see the new tools, maybe even provide feedback, and begin to prepare for any massive change that's coming. Unless we're all overreacting and these changes aren't going to be that drastic. I don't know. Ray,
have you ever worked at a help desk?
I have not.
It's the 20-80 thing. 80% of people be fine, but 20% of people are going to have a freak out because they hate change and they can't deal with it.
And mine is 80-20.
Yeah. Yeah. Ray, do you have any thoughts? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm just curious if you have any.
I'm middle of the road. Well, one of the things that you don't want to do is prolong the pain and agony. You don't want to go 9 months from now, we're going to have a change and we're working on it. One of the WordPress upgrades that I've been following is a thing called Divi. and they've been moving from Divi 4 to Divi 5. It's been in beta for like over a year now. You know, enough already. Let's either roll the product out or stop talking about it. So in this particular case, I'm sure that they will give people like Frank and his organization time to move. But announcing it a month ago probably would have not have changed the timeline. And as Frank alluded to at the beginning of all this, those of us that frequent the Zoom community trying to help people, I will be behind the closed community door, not answering anybody's question about this, because it's just the way it is, and deal with it. Talking primarily about the whiners and ranters. People who have a serious issue, like I put in the chat, the share button ought to be green or some recognizable color. That is the one presenter icon that, regardless of where it needs to move to, I need to, in the heat of battle, be able to go, oh, it's there, because I've got to do a screen share now. That's the one thing. Either that or move it over with audio and video. That would be another plan for me. But anyway.
So-
That's interesting, because to me, the most important button is actually the mute and the video button, not the share button. But I completely understand. Sorry, Lois, I didn't mean to step on you.
It's okay. So I think the changes that are coming, no problem. You can update, you can change, you can deal with whatever is on your screen. I think the biggest problem for me is going to be, we're going to have so many different kinds and different versions that one of my ladies calls and says, I can't get into class. And then I have to walk them through how to do it. The question is, do they have the old one? Do they have the new one? Are they on light? Are they on dark? So I'm hoping that there's some way that I can have both the old and the new, even if it's on two separate computers, so that I can troubleshoot for both of those people who call me.
I'm sure you can. You just don't update one. Can I just check it? Robert, are you feeling okay?
It's a little green over there.
Yeah, I know. And now he's gone.
Totally
And he
gone.
left. Okay. Something was going on with this video.
I have
Go
to
ahead, Frank.
literally pull out the USB plug from the camera and put it back in. Well, not the camera,
Oh.
the three-letter word that I'm not allowed to use.
Oh, good. Well, then mute yourself.
Go ahead, Frank.
Oh, I was just going to point out, Lois raises a good point. The only sort of comfort I can give you is Zoom has their quarterly life cycle policy where after 9 months you have to upgrade. You can't not upgrade. So in 9 months it'll all be okay again.
But Frank, is that to the latest?
To the minimum enforced version that they decide upon. So
Right.
in
So
nine,
it may not be
in
6,
9 9 months though, I bet you it will be 6, 7.
Oh, you think? Okay.
Why would they do all this and then not enforce it?
Right.
I found the conversation over the green button versus the red button interesting, only because my former boss used to be red-green colorblind, and he hated the conversation around red button versus green button.
But even colorblind people can see that it is a color rather than it is white. Is that true?
But they can't tell if it's red or green.
But there isn't only when you're sharing do you have a red button which says stop share.
No, I understand that, but trust me, there were enough examples in ergonomic design where people would you push a button, it's green, and it would turn red. You push it again, it would turn green, and you'd have red-green color people who said, I have no idea.
For people who do design, who do accessibility, though, they usually will do something like the share button has an up arrow. It's the only one with an up arrow. Like you have to have some other way to distinguish besides. You have to have an icon and a color so that people who are colorblind have another way to deal with it, right?
Yeah. That's what I was wondering, Frank, is how much of this is, I mean, I don't think a lot of it is, but how much of this is how much of these choices are being driven by accessibility? And Muddy, you said that you thought it was yellow.
Wait, you're telling me that button is green? I thought it was yellow all this time.
It doesn't matter. It's colored. It's got a color.
It's NTSC. Right. It's never going to be the same color on any computer monitor.
That's true also. Right. But I wonder how much, if any of this change is about accessibility.
I doubt it, but this is what I'll say. Anytime they do something, they're going to take accessibility into account.
Yes,
Right.
they have to.
Yeah. Yeah. Robert, go ahead.
I think there's an opportunity now for people to record help desk videos and then make shorts out of them and use an agent to answer those questions through an avatar that is showing you exactly what to do and where to find things.
You only get 3 records though, right?
Wait, you mean for Zoom to do that or for individuals to do that?
Well, it would be nice if Zoom did that because they are the source of the change, but I doubt
That
if
would
they do
actually,
it.
that would be a nice thing for the AI companion to do, is to not just be able to chat with you, but when you say, hey, how do I find the X, for it to actually show you in somehow.
If
Yeah,
if
right,
I
please.
may, um, there's a little bit of terminology thing here. I think I want to address, and that is AI companion. Whenever I go in there and ask it, how do I do something in Zoom? AI companion is stupid. It doesn't really have the answers. But if you go to Ziva, if you go to the Zoom virtual assistant on your profile page, the little blue icon down in the bottom, that functionality of answering your questions has made great leaps in the last 8 to 12 months.
I'm sorry,
I used to complain
Ziva?
regularly in the Zoom community about, here's something I put in Zoom Ziva, and here's stuff I put in Perplexity, and Perplexity gave me a real answer, and Ziva said, I don't know what you're talking about. But it's gotten a lot better. In fact, if I'm cruising through the Zoom community now and I see something that I think I know the answer to, I'll copy paste that person's particular proposed question right into Ziva and see what Ziva says, just to sort of confirm whether I think I'm right or not.
What is Ziva?
Lower
Please help.
corner.
This
It's
down
like
here?
Right corner.
it's like Siri and Alexa. It's Ziva.
Is it this thing down here in the bottom
Yes,
corner?
sir. Yep.
Oh, Ziva, Zoom virtual agent. Okay.
Just
Huh.
since we're on this weird topic, did you know you can take your Zoom AI to Teams meetings and other places with you as well? I've never done it, but you can apparently.
The AI companion?
Yeah, you can bring it to other places.
Okay, well, now I'm a little confused. So Zoom virtual agent versus Zoom virtual agent, is that not AI?
It is AI, but
It is
it's
AI based, but
task
it is
dedicated to
also
helping people.
it's also a product. The virtual assistant is actually a product that they sell to people, and Zoom's kind of eating their own dog food, as they say. And like I said, a year ago, you could ask it questions, and it kind of didn't even have a clue what you were asking. And recently, in the last 5 or 6 months, I've seen a great improvement in it.
From a help desk perspective, I would call Ziva tier 0 support. There's no human. It's
Right.
AI is going to try its best to do what it can to help you.
So this is okay. So I just asked it. Tell me about the changes coming up in the 6.7 release. It said, let me get the details. And then it gave me some, but it doesn't actually mention anything that's we just talked about.
And
Oh,
the sources? What about the sources?
yeah. The sources are release notes for Zoom Team Chat and release notes for what is this? Zoom
Workplace
Workplace
app.
app. But for some reason, it didn't actually bring all the information.
And
By
there's
the way,
December 15th right there.
yeah, one thing it did mention though, which we forgot to talk about was, and I saw this in the paper, is that um, admins can now manage your ability to take screenshots during Zoom meetings, which I actually think is a great move. That an admin can
It's
shut
it,
that
it,
down.
I think it's a little different than that, David. I think, and until we see it, I don't know for sure, but I tried kind of diving into it. It looks more like you can actually prevent people from capturing any screenshots of windows from your organization. I think Zoom will blank out whatever it's doing whenever a screenshot's being taken, if you enable that for your organization, regardless of whose machine it's on. So it's not just your people. If you are inviting external people, I think they will also be unable to take a screenshot and grab that information, I believe.
Yeah. Frank, go ahead.
Good for Zoom. They'll never be able to stop someone from using a third-party app or pulling their phone out of their pocket and taking a picture that way. But at least it meets a compliance checkbox on someone who might be considering buying it for their organization, right?
Yeah.
Furthermore, did you know that Zoom has a built-in, on Mac at least, Zoom has a built-in screenshot shortcut?
Yep.
Did you know that, David?
I did.
If you go to your toolbar and click on the Zoom icon in your topmost toolbar, it'll give you the option to do a screenshot.
In my toolbar,
the very top bar on your Mac, you know.
About Zoom Workplace, is that the what you're talking about?
Yeah, here I'll screen.
Well, it says, you know, little blue button says Zoom, and when you click on it,
exactly,
one of the down
way up here. If you find the icon for Zoom, and you click on it, screenshot.
So you can also actually get that if you go in where did God?
I just pressed Command Shift 4, but I mean, it's just neat that it's there.
It's in the chat window.
I'm not finding it on mine, so never mind.
So at the very top in your menu bar, there's a blue dot next to where like your clock is and stuff. There's a blue dot with a ZM in it.
No, there's not.
Well, your computer is broken.
Mine doesn't have it either.
Mine is different. That's okay.
It's different.
Well, let me ask you something else, Louis. Is yours one with the little cutout in the screen now because the camera's poking through?
What?
So
I don't understand what you said.
The menu bar on MacBooks on the newest, on the last.
No, this is I'm not a MacBook. I'm a desktop.
Okay.
I have a green button with a camera looking thing in it, which gives me control of some things, but not that.
Not the Zoom. You don't have the Zoom button. Interesting.
It may be that that's something that you have to enable, but if you don't have that, if you go to if you have Zoom Workplace as the primary app, you know, the forward-facing app, and you go up to Edit in the menu bar, you'll see it there. There's
there it is.
Yep, halfway down you see Search.
Yep.
So it's Command T is the key command on a Mac to do a screenshot. Yeah, go ahead, Frank and Muddy, please.
I apologize. That was from last time.
Oh, I'm sorry, Muddy, go for it.
All right, let me unmute first. So there is also the option to send a screenshot in the chat, because on the bottom of the chat where you would type your message in, there's several icons below that, like text formatting, emojis, and one of those, that last one that's shown there that Mike put up, which is a box with a plus in the corner, that lets you take a screenshot from that chat window and then drop it in chat.
If it's enabled.
If it's enabled.
Your person who sets up your Zoom, if it's not you, can not allow you to do that, and individuals can turn that off in their preferences if the admin allows them to change their preferences.
And David has allowed us to do.
It's super useful.
It is super, and it's actually kind of a cool interface. Let me show you what. So at least on mine, this is what I'm getting. So here's the screenshot, which is also Command T. It's the same thing. When I click on it, now it's like where I'm not entirely sure where the chat went. I think it's underneath, but it finds the different windows and it will, you know, just allow me to. Oh, see, it's not doing it because I'm sharing. Before. That's interesting. It's not doing it now.
It's a picture of a Zoom window, though, right?
No, but it actually was grabbing any of these like little panels that I had open. It's not now. I don't know why. But then you can capture, and then it automatically pops into chat. I'm not sure why mine isn't working very well, but Mike did it before. But yes. Yep. Yeah, it's really nice.
So that's part of what's called the new chat experience that's been around for a year and a half now, but it's still called the new chat experience.
And Muddy, you're right. It's not grabbing my. It's not doing my Zoom stuff either, and
You
I'm
can grab
wondering.
anything.
Yeah,
It's
you
not just for
can.
grabbing Zoom stuff. I grabbed part of my OBS window and pasted it in. I didn't send it out, but
Yeah, for some reason, when I'm see now it's working for me, and I can't show it to you. For some reason, when I'm sharing this screen in through Ecamm, it doesn't work. But I can grab any panel that I have open on or the whole desktop.
It's interesting,
with
the
this.
3 different places we've talked about screenshot, the Zoom icon up in the dock, the edit menu, and down in the chat. 2 of those, the edit menu and the one down in the chat, behave the same way for me, which means when I click on them, my Zoom meeting disappears and all of my other programs show up that I can take a picture of. But the Zoom icon up in the dock, when I click screenshot within that, the Zoom meeting still stays intact. So I can take a screenshot of the Zoom meeting, whereas these other, interesting
Same.
that the same command screenshot behaves differently depending on where you launch it from.
And
just to,
Command T doesn't work for me because it hasn't been identified by my Mac as being a Zoom thing.
yeah, and just to clarify too that David might have mentioned that I did the screenshot when I did the buttons. I did not use Zoom's screenshot tool for that.
Sorry about that.
I actually really enjoy on Windows using the tool called GreenShot. If anybody is on Windows, that is definitely a tool that I have here, and we've deployed in the company as well for people on Windows.
Can I ask you a question about Muddy about the Zoom not being able to share Zoom windows? So there's a setting when you screen share in Zoom. There's like most of the time your Zoom windows are not visible. There's a setting somewhere where you can say show my Zoom windows. I wonder
It's
if
under
that's
the share
connected.
screen menus.
Right. I wonder if that's connected though to
Yeah, let me play with
whether or
that.
not you can see it here. So let me pull this over. So here is, right. They've actually made it much more obvious now because it was not, I remember it was difficult to find. So here is, oh goodness, wait a second. Who can show me? Get rid of that. So here
That
is
setting does not appear to make a difference on mine.
Oh, okay. So here's just so people know, here's the share window. And then right down here, there's, do you want to share your Zoom windows? Share toolbar notifications, prevent repeating window effect from my shared screens. This is something they added just not less than a year ago, I think, so that you don't get that infinity effect.
When I made the window that's in my teleprompter full screen, and then I went to use that chat share, it did keep that window persistent.
But could you share that window?
I could screen capture that window. So if your
capture.
Zoom meeting is full screen, I think it works.
Oh, that's interesting. Full screen versus not full screen. Huh.
Right. I'm not sure why, but
yeah, I had the same experience.
That made the difference for me.
Oh, that's fascinating. Okay. So wait, let me just make
But
sure I got this. So
if you make it,
if you want, sorry. So if you want to be able to screenshot a Zoom window, you need to be in full screen mode. Is that what you're saying?
On one of your screens, it needs to be in full screen mode, and then it allowed me to pick that up.
but if you're in full screen mode, you can't see the menu items at the top, so I can't get to edit to choose screenshot.
So the one I was doing, I have multiple screens, so that's helpful. I was doing the plus in the chat, and when I do it on the top, like Muddy, I can move it around to pick whatever I want. When I full screened one of those where my Zoom meeting was, which is in this case, it's in my teleprompter. Then when I hit that plus button in the chat, I was able to screen capture anything on the 3 desktops, including that Zoom window.
And bonus tip, Lois, when you are in full screen mode, if you move your cursor all the way up and keep pushing up and hold it there, that menu shows up. Those menus show up.
Good. Thank you.
On a Mac, where does it save the screenshot?
I don't think it actually does. I think it just pops it into chat.
No, it puts it in the copy buffer, I think. Well, it might actually go ahead and paste it in the chat, but I think it's also in the copy buffer.
No, it definitely pastes it
It's
into
in the chat for sure.
Yeah. But the copy buffer, is that actually saved somewhere on, like, that you could access on your computer?
You'd have to paste it somewhere.
Yeah, by copy buffer, you mean the clipboard. So it is saved to the clipboard. It is not saved to the default Mac screenshots location, like the desktop. Like if you use the built-in Mac screenshots, they show up on the desktop unless you've told them to go someplace else. It does not behave like that. It just puts it in the clipboard.
And if you take a screenshot from the menu bar, not from chat?
Same thing.
Really? I can't find it. So I've taken 2-3 screenshots. I have no idea where they are.
Well, I had to
They're
open up
only on the clipboard, so unless you go someplace and paste them, you won't see them. They're in the chat and on the clipboard.
Okay, so they save it in clipboard.
Hold on. That depends. On my computer, I've defined where all my screenshots go. They go to my screenshot folder.
But Frank, those are using the Mac screenshots, not the Zoom screenshot, right?
I personally believe that Zoom is leveraging what your operating system provides. I don't think they built their own screenshot facility into Zoom. They use what the operating system gives it, right?
Well, it didn't show up where my screen. They aren't showing up where it usually comes if I do a Mac screenshot, but was on the clipboard. I was able to open a note, a sticky, and paste it. So
that's what I just did too.
Yeah. So it automatically gets put in chat, and then it's on your clipboard if you want to paste it someplace else, but it doesn't appear to be its own file.
Yeah, it's really not meant to be capturing screenshots that you don't want to share in your Zoom meeting.
Actually,
we're a bunch of geeks, first of all.
I take it back. So if I choose the screenshot tool, it gives me a cursor, and I can draw a marquee that I want. But once I draw that marquee, I then get a little menu bar down at the bottom, a little floating toolbar, and one of those options is a down arrow that would let me download that screenshot.
Maybe this is operating system differences too. Like I'm not on Tahoe or whatever, but I took a screenshot using the chat screenshot button, and it ended up in my screenshot folder because my operating system ultimately is in control of what Zoom can do, I think.
So I've enabled the screenshot piece. I drew that little picture, and now you can see down here, I can't get my green thing, but I've got the download button. So if I click download, it should have downloaded it to, it's asking me where. And this is interesting that my entire computer is in dark mode, but this one window from Zoom is coming up, and that's really interesting. Okay. I don't want to do it there. Let me put it where I can find it. Put it right there. That's what we'll just throw on the desktop. Save. New.
Well, and also
save.
the tools on that bar let you put arrows to things. Like this is actually so helpful if you're doing any kind of customer service. Like, I can't find the button. You can literally use that. And I tried drawing an arrow. You pick a color and it is this giant arrow. You can put that in the chat. Like that is actually a really, really helpful thing for any of us who deal with people trying to tell them where to find things.
I just feel like I found my people. We spent half an hour talking about screenshot button. Like, who else would talk for half an hour about such a minor thing?
It is not a minor thing.
It is major, man. Major.
And if it's that major, I did do a little lookup, and I'm told for us Windows guys that don't have Macs, Command, then Shift, then 5 supposedly opens up the location of the folder.
Yeah, so there's lots of keyboard shortcuts on a Mac. Command Shift 4 is a screenshot. Command Shift 5 gives you a more versatile screenshot ability.
Has anybody tried? So, David, are you using screen share right now, or is this just your Ecamm?
No, this is just Ecamm. But
For
I just
some
took a
reason,
screenshot.
it won't let
I
me screenshot. Like when I try and screenshot your Ecamm window, it just shows black. It's so unusual. I tried all the different things we were doing with full screen mode, everything else.
and
It
now
won't
I
let
just
me
did
capture your window.
and now I'm doing a screen share. I click capture and it didn't show up in the chat and I have no idea where it is. I don't see it anywhere.
Can you paste
Can
in
I?
the chat?
Before you clicked capture, where did you put it?
Yes,
That's the
that's
place
it.
that
Robert,
you,
how'd you get that?
Just press the button in the chat, selected the window, but I was
Wait,
in full
but I
screen.
didn't see it come. Oh, you guys received it, but I didn't get it. That's interesting.
You didn't get what?
I didn't see that the chat message that you guys are seeing. Wait, I'm so confused.
are you under the everybody in chat, or have you got it focused
No,
on
I'm
someone?
under the everyone. All right, hold on.
I
Let me
did
try
not
this
get
again.
one from you, David, but I did get one from Robert and from Tamara.
Right. Right. Let me try this again. So I'm going from the little blue button at the top, and I'm going to click screenshot. Then I'm going to draw my box. I'm going to click
And
capture. Now,
but
did
you
you all
didn't
just
push
get a?
download.
No,
You
I don't
did,
want to download. Did you all just get a chat from me?
no, you haven't finished the chat. You have to go to the chat and press the return key to submit it. You know, in
What?
chat when you type and then you have to send it.
No, that does no.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah,
nothing in the chat.
David, earlier someone said that when you do it from that icon at the top, it doesn't go into the chat window, but if
It
you use any of the other two methods, it does.
right.
correct.
It
That's-
definitely doesn't. But it doesn't go anywhere. That's what's
You can-
interesting. Yeah.
You can download it.
It's on your clipboard. And
It's
there
on-
it is, right
there it
there. I
is,
can
yeah.
see it.
No, so that I just did that. That's the second
Right.
one. But so when you do it from the top, when you click screenshot up here,
Just
you
goes
don't
it's copied into your clipboard, and you'd
Right.
have to click into the chat and paste it in order
Right.
for
No,
it to show up there.
I can't. Okay, here's what's happening. The hotkey for paste for me is not working for some reason. Okay, so yes, it copies it to the clipboard and then I can. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I don't know, on Windows, do you have multiple clipboards? In other words, our clipboard in the Mac has been expanded so that you can clip one thing and clip another and have a whole bunch of things on the clipboard at the same time. Is that available in Windows?
It's an option.
Okay.
How
It
do
has to
you,
be enabled.
Lois? How do you access all those different things on your clipboard? I have no idea how to.
I don't remember. It's been so long since I
Are you sure you
was
don't have a
using it.
clipboard manager app installed on your computer?
Not that I know of, but it's possible. Anything's possible. Frank, you know me.
In Windows, if you press the Windows button and V, so rather than Control V, if you click Windows V, the very first time you do it, it pops up like a multiple clipboard history thing and say, do you want to enable this? And once you say yes, you can copy, 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 and then when you hit Windows V, it brings up a list of all the things you've copied. So that's how it works on Windows. But on Mac, my understanding is you need kind of a third-party tool in order to get that functionality.
By the way, pro tip, I just found the problem. So in Ecamm, so here, I'll just show you real quick for anyone who's interested in. So in Ecamm, in your scenes panel or your overlays panel, see that little dude right there? you can click that and assign a hotkey to that to either toggle that on or off or change the scene. Somehow, one of my, in fact, I can show you which one it is. One of my overlays had been assigned the hotkey Command V. And so every time I pressed Command V, it was toggling something in Ecamm and not actually pasting what I wanted it to paste. So I just removed that, and now it's pasting it. Muddy, good seeing you. So in any case, user error as usual.
David,
As usual. Yes,
have,
sir.
have you looked at any of the other release notes? I mean, there's a plethora of release notes that are coming out, and there's one for Zoom events with an option in it I would like to briefly discuss.
Let's do it. Talk us through it. While you're doing that, I will look up the release notes.
I've actually copied and pasted 4 individual release notes from what's coming out on Monday.
Studio
It's a
recording.
concept called studio recording.
What?
This is what we've been asking for some time. And
Intrigued.
hopefully, Frank, you've already heard about this. With Zoom events, you will be able to start a local recording at various locations where your speakers are. And when the session is over, it will process them and then bring them into your cloud folder, according
So
to
I
what
can
I've
drop
read.
my Riverside account, is what you're saying.
Potentially, yeah. I would
That
check
would be
to
the
make sure Zoom
dream.
works as functioned first.
That would be the dream right now. No offense to Riverside.
Wait.
You're
It-
You
offensive.
need, hold on. Talk us dummies through this because I'm not sure I'm following.
So what many of us want to do is we want to make sure that we get clean audio and clean video. And so when we're recording in the cloud, we can get separate audio from individuals, which is nice if you're doing afterward, post editing. And some people talk over each other and you want to cut these 2 people out because they were laughing or screaming or whatever. But it doesn't get good audio from them if they have a bad connection or if they have a stutter or something that goes on in the system. This will start a local recording at their machine, which will record the audio directly, regardless
Double-ended
of what
recording.
goes out through the system.
It's double-ended recording. Wow.
Yes.
That we've
Yes.
been talking about for like 2+ years.
And it appears to me that it will also do video. What you're seeing on my screen, my mental thought is it was so important it got 4 slots on the release notes. The first one is studio recording workflow with upload monitoring and email notifications, which kind of says hosts receive automated email notifications 2 hours after studio recording sessions end with upload progress updates for all of the isolated files. And they will provide video feeds free of glitches, and it will include the name, file size, length. So you'll get a report that says, here's what's in progress, and here's when you're going to get them if you don't have them already. The second one is
this is
It says
just
web-
in events, right?
this is in the Zoom Webinars Plus and Events release notes. So yes, I believe.
And it says web portal. What does that mean?
That is basically zoom.us. So I think what they're saying here is that it can be enabled in the web portal. The web portal doesn't actually do this, I don't think, but you can enable it in the web portal. And until we see the actual documentation from this, we don't really know how it's going to work. But I'm so excited about this. I couldn't let it not come out of the bag here.
That is so cool. Thank you for telling us about this. Especially, did you
Yeah.
read the part about the Final Cut Pro XML files? That's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the second one is enhanced cloud recording with local capture and professional editing support. And so, yeah, you've kind of read through some of that. And then the other 2, professional recording for high quality local video capture. Basically, speakers record up to 4K resolution at 60 frames per second with raw audio quality, creating both MP4 and WAV files that are automatically time stamped for easy synchronization. So what this tells me is that you'll be able to potentially start somebody else's recording, and rather than all timestamps starting at 0, theirs will start at the appropriate time, and you'll be able to pull them into your editor of choice, and they will line up semi-automatically.
This is
That's cool.
huge. They just
Yeah.
kick sand in about 15 different companies' faces.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, yeah. And then the enhanced cloud recording, this is just from another section. And yeah, I don't know why it ended up in there 4 times, but to me, one of the things I've been thinking of doing is actually making a Zoom or Zoom events based podcast, 5 to 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes of here's what's new this week, here's what's coming up, and that sort of stuff. Very focused, very detail oriented. And I've been doing my research on podcasting, and I've done a little bit of it, and everyone goes, we tried to use Zoom, but Zoom doesn't really do that well. From my perspective, this actually sets Zoom up to be a really great podcasting tool as well, to be able to get audio from everybody.
Riverside stock just went down.
That's huge because Riverside is really a pain. It's like if you want to go from regular Riverside where you run out of time to jump up is $450. And I sat with them a couple weeks ago and I was like, you have no middle ground. Your business account is $500. And like, if I need 16 hours instead of 15, I'm totally screwed. And I even said, I'm like, when Zoom gets this end to end recording, you're done. And that's basically
Shots fired.
I was like, most excellent. But this looks like it's only through events. So I would use like my studio session, or it's going to be something
Webinar Plus.
Webinar Plus. I mean, I have that, but I'm just curious.
And
Well,
the
for
question
webinars,
that I still have is it sufficient enough to get a PPA license, or do you need to have one of their
Right.
SaaS licenses in order to use it?
Yeah,
you don't need more than 100, do you, to run a podcast?
Correct,
So
correct. But
you can
even
buy the monthly.
even the subscription 100, what Zoom events is $14.90 US. That's $1,490 a year.
But if you buy it in 100, you can pay it monthly, and then you don't need it for the months that you do recording, Ray.
Well, that's true. But
You
I mean,
need
if you're
it
gonna
all year.
if you're gonna do 2 or 3 podcasts a week and a couple of meetings, and you do it every month, it gets kind of pricey. But yeah, especially if you can do it with a PPA license.
This is insane.
So there you go.
I mean, this, as you said, Tamara, this is a direct hit at Riverside, and
Well, especially if it's doing it on a PPA license and you just schedule your records for that whole day and you bring in all of your people in one day, you could technically record way more than 15 hours if it's not an hourly thing like it is on all of the other services where you have an hourly cap of what you can record. That makes a huge difference, right? I do sessions where I just have 15 people come in. That's 15 people on my podcast license, and it is a person versus an hourly. I could record all day.
Well, except
30 hours.
You have a storage limit on Zoom. Even then, you have to pay for extra storage.
Right.
Zoom, I think webinars is the same. Zoom meetings can be 30 hours.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not the recording side. I mean the storage side.
I know the storage side. I understood.
Yeah, but you could also record a day, dump your storage onto your hard drive, and delete your storage. Like,
Right.
it's just storage management as opposed to, I mean, this is like, I've gone through, because I started doing these oral history records and literally didn't think it was going to be a big deal. They're like, get Riverside. I got Riverside. I've now gone from Riverside to Descript to all of these different things. And they all have this cap that is unmovable. The leap from regular person to a business that is able to generate that kind of revenue, not the little nonprofits I work for, is like just insurmountable. So this is actually a really big deal.
And John just said in the chat,
Don't say it was
right
John.
away.
Don't say it was John.
Oh, sorry. It was me. You delete it right away, and it sits in the deleted box for you have 30 days.
I was just about to say that.
That's
absolutely
fantastic.
correct.
Now,
Yeah.
question for those of you in the know. I know that there's been talk of, and I don't know if it's been rolled out, with Zoom meetings, I can go in and control someone's camera. And there's been discussion that you could then eventually control someone's audio as well. Is that something you can do in webinar? Because like that would be right there. If you were able to go in and be like, David, let me fix your audio for you, and me jump into his computer
Well, that's just
before
an
we
app.
record.
It's just a Zoom app.
Right,
So
but that's
can
what
you
I'm
use
saying.
Zoom
Can you
apps in
use
webinar?
that in webinar? I guess is my question.
But can you use Zoom apps in a webinar?
I don't know. That's my question.
I don't know. I never use webinars.
Because
Do
like
we-
that's the key.
Are we
like,
talking about the remote control of the remote?
yes, please.
Yeah.
That does not work in webinars. It only
Right.
works.
That
That's
right
a
there
shame.
would be the number
Yeah.
one cool thing ever.
Yeah,
In
because I
me-
tried to
in
use it in a
meeting-
webinar and it was like no go.
I mean,
In meetings, do you both have to have the app engaged, or if I have it, can I engage it with you to control your thing?
you
Yeah.
have to
When-
have it on both sides.
You both
But,
do.
Yeah.
Okay.
but when I yes, and not 100%, because when I open it up and I say, hey, I'm going to control Lois's audio, it sends you you get a pop-up that says, hey, open this app, and then you just open it. It's not like you have to do anything other than that. I have a question about these features. So both of them on the release notes, it says the feature must be enabled by Zoom. Why do you think, what's that about, you think? Are they trying to, like, they want it to happen slowly?
I asked one of my internal buddies, hey, what do you think about that? And his answer was, we're just hoping for a slow rollout. Well,
Yeah.
we don't want to let
Okay.
this out for everybody to start with. Because my first question to him was, does this require a specific MRR, monthly recurring revenue? Like if you're not paying 10,000 a month, do you just not get it? And the answer was no, that's not the intent. So
Yeah, it is Zoom's process. Let's be honest. It's Zoom's process on all these new ideas to always release them as a beta, to always limit them, because they don't know how many people are going to use it. They don't know how much bandwidth they need. They don't know how many servers they're going to have to allocate to this service. Don't know how much storage it's going to take up for people. So there's a lot of unknowns about how it can get
Unknowns,
used.
yeah.
And it's not going to totally replace Riverside right away, to be fair to Riverside.
No, they'll have a
Because
week.
I mean, the truth is, when you log into Riverside, it is a very beautiful app, like where you as the producer can see exactly what kind of computer the person's using, exactly what they're, what's going on. Like that's a help. Like if that's where this eventually goes, then you would, if it's going to completely replace that, it would also have to give you some kind of feedback for that. So it's not
Okay,
100%.
So as one of the developers, either myself or one of the other developers for Zoom can put the final nail in the coffin, because all the things you've asked for are pretty much available and doable if you added a little app into Zoom to do those features.
Hey, I'm all for it.
So you don't have, probably, I don't know, you may or may not have access to this, but as a Zoom admin, I can already see what kind of computer you have. I can see what kind of microphone I can see all that stuff as a Zoom admin. So the information's on the server. It's
the information's there. I just
whether or
don't know
not
where
they
to find
share
it.
it. I don't know if they'll share it this way or not, but they do have that information.
But my good friend John could help me.
Frank, how do you, in what's the environment in which you see that information? Is that like
log into
meetings?
Zoom US as an admin, go to the admin panel, and on my kind of account, there's something called the dashboard. And then I can see live meetings, past meetings. I can see what kind of computer and audio drivers and your internet connection.
In meetings, though, they have to
or,
be like,
or past meetings.
Right, but okay, it's not like you don't get the computer information of your users. You get of your account holders. You get the computer information of users or participants.
Yeah, I get their operating system. I get basic information. So Zoom servers are interrogating everything it connects to and having some kind of back channel conversation. What are you? Are you an iPad? Are you a phone? Are you it has to set up all the various protocols, right?
Yeah.
So that information's there. It's just about making it pretty.
Right.
And then it's not. So
well,
then you're
and
right,
whether or
it's
not they want to expose it is,
Right.
I don't know
And
if they
that's-
want to do that.
It's just not it's not an impossibility for them to eventually become a replacement for Riverside.
John knows way more about the APIs and SDKs than I ever will.
Well, if you're an app, then you could go and find that information out from the computer you're on anyhow. You wouldn't have to ask Zoom. But Zoom do have quite a bit of analysis information in webinars, so you can drill down to what webinar users are. So Zoom is using that information in webinars. As Frank says, it's also used at admin level, but as an app, I can find out things about the PC just by having some code of my own to go and interrogate the machine I'm on. So there are lots of different ways of doing it.
Love
Just
it.
putting a
Mina.
bow on, just putting a bow on this release. For me, the fundamental question is going to be who has access to this. It's a Zoom Events thing. Is it available to Webinars Plus? Is it available to PPA licenses? You know, what does access look like? That's and access on Monday will not be access forever. I mean, it's you know, but that to me that's the big question that I have. Boy, is that fascinating though. Wow, Frank, go ahead.
If you say a certain guy's name 3 times, maybe he'll show up and say that him and his team were responsible for giving us this wonderful new thing.
We'll just
I
say thank you.
add,
We'll just say thank you.
not only not only is, you know, Monday's access not going to be the same all along, but we won't know everything on Monday because we won't necessarily have references to the support documents that have the details, and very often those don't have the right details. You know, not to bash the documentation crew, they only know what to put in that the developers give them, and they don't necessarily understand what we need to know. And the whole licensing bit of, well, okay, suppose it does work in everybody's Zoom events. Can you do it in a standalone webinar as well?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
And will it
I
become
also
easy enough to eventually do in a meeting, right? Because that would be the like.
so I'm curious, Tamara, and I just as soon as I saw this, I screenshotted it, and I said, speaking of screenshots, and I sent it over to the Ecamm team because I'm curious about whether
Absolutely.
this functionality will eventually be available in the API, so that tools like Zoom ISO and Ecamm and any of these Mimo that are using Zoom in the background, will they now be able to double end record and auto upload and or stuff like? I mean,
I thought
that's
of
just
Ecamm right away, because if Ecamm
yeah,
for Zoom could do this, then that really changes the game
yeah, that's
across
a
the
killer
board. It
feature.
really
Yeah.
is like you just don't use anything else. You literally
Right,
use an Ecamm or Mimo and Zoom, and there
right,
are no other options.
right. Yeah, Robert, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd just like to give a shout out to Zoom for actually listening to us producers and putting this functionality in, because we've sort of focused on who it's attacking, but we asked for it and Zoom gave it to us, or is
Absolutely.
giving it to us. So shout out, great job.
You have to love how they wait, let me find it for you. The oh shoot, hold on. There's a what is the screenshot? There was a view of this that had an exclamation point after it. Where was it? You were showing it before in your screenshot, Ray, where it said where? Oh, I can't find it. Zoom event features. You were showing it in your screenshot, and it had a it said something like, studio recording, then I had an exclamation point after it, which I've never seen in a Zoom
Oh,
release notes. Like, you know,
yeah, no, this
go
is mine.
us,
I
go
copied and
us.
pasted and put this up here because it was just such a big deal for me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but yes, I'm with you, Robert. It's worth celebrating. It is. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Zoom events.
Yeah.
Wait, but did you add that or is that from Zoom?
That's me. This is a Word document where I copy and
Oh,
pasted. These four
I thought
items
that
are
was from
spread
Zoom.
throughout the release notes on various
Okay,
pages.
okay.
And I just wanted
I
them
thought
all.
Zoom did that for itself,
Yeah.
saying, "Yay, us! Look what we
Yeah.
did."
Yeah.
That's great.
But I'm with Robert. One of the things that I did see also for those of you that use Production Studio, there's an item in here where you're going to be able to set the volume of a video scene, and it is supposed to, supposedly from what I read, it will remember that set volume, so that if you have a video you're going to show that is either very quiet or very loud, and you want to preset that volume, it's supposed to remember, if you go in and play, it's supposed to remember that volume, and then when it plays at that volume. So that to me is a fine piece that really just makes the production studio that much more better.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Ray. Well spotted. I hadn't read that yet, but that means it's literally having the functionality of a player, that you can
Yes.
pre-program what you want to a playlist with all of the specs for it, which sounds good.
Yeah, for the nursing conference that I'm putting together in April, there'll be a 2-hour block at the beginning of each of the regions. We'll have 6 separate regions across the globe, starting at different hours and on different days. But the first 30 minutes of that will be several, 5-minute welcomes and 5-minute live, and production studio video scenes are going to save my bacon on that one.
So Monday. That's
this
it.
is Christmas.
Right. It really, this is Christmas. Hey, Monday is the first day of Hanukkah. So I'm just saying.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait, what is that thing popping up? I have a little dude popping up on my screen. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, and it's wobbly.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I had no idea that was happening. I just saw it. What else do we have?
I don't think
Pete.
we need any more, David. We've been
probably don't
blown
need any
away.
more.
We're gone. We're done for Christmas.
I just want to say a quick hello to Pete. How you doing, Pete? It's all right. We got you. We got you. Tony, have a good weekend.
So if that was 6.7, what's 7.0 going to be like?
There it is. Now I'm on.
3D.
Oh, hi, Pete.
I've noticed the last couple of years my Stream Deck integration with Zoom is not working too well.
Okay. Are you using the Zoom, the official Zoom plugin for Stream Deck?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you updating your Stream Deck? Are
yeah.
you using Companion,
week.
I guess?
Yeah, updating everything. So
Have you tried using a different USB cable? That wasn't a joke.
No, I know.
Cables get damaged.
No, it's I've noticed this on various computers.
Just a quick question. And you're only running the Stream Deck app. You're not running Companion and the Stream Deck app.
No Companion, just Stream Deck.
Is your Stream Deck firmware up to date?
Yes.
Do you move your Stream Deck around? Because I've noticed mine will stop working and I've got to go in and reset it up. But it's so quick it doesn't bother me that much.
No, I have 4 computers and the same thing happens.
They all have their.
Yeah.
Are they networked together?
No.
Okay.
2 of them are, but the Stream Decks are separate in each machine.
Got it.
Okay, I use the only network thing I use is something called Synergy, where I have 2 computers here and I can move the mouse from one computer to another.
How many Stream Decks are you using?
3.
And they all have the problem?
Yeah.
David's winning.
I think it's more of the software,
Yes, but which software are you using?
the Stream Deck software.
No, which software are you using to control everything? Are you using what is the app that you are controlling that's not working? Is it Zoom?
It's Zoom, yeah.
Okay, so which app are you using for Zoom?
This one, let me show you. Can I
The one that's
here?
built into the one that comes from Elgato?
Yes.
Okay. Better say his name 3 times then, because he was the one that set it all up.
I mean, I've had that where it's not persistent sometimes, and I don't have any good reason for it, but I move things around all the time, so I assume it's that. And I just open it up and reset it up very quickly.
It should
But
work
Yeah.
well because it's actually a C++ app. So it's not even
yeah, no,
JavaScript. So it's not even slow. It's a C++ app.
I love it.
And he gave the code to Elgato, and then Elgato took a while before they implemented it. And I don't know who's now responsible for updates, if there's any
So
problems.
yeah, these right here, these buttons right here, they're slow to respond. Sometimes they don't even
So
link.
those buttons are the Zoom app that used to be in Elgato. That's not the Elgato one, because the Elgato one, it's clear. The microphone is does not look like that. It's not solid. So
So
I would check to see which Zoom app you're using, because prior to Zoom and Elgato having an app that was compatible, they had lots of Zoom plugins that you could put in, and the plugin I used prior to that was that solid color picture, and the new ones are clear.
You are
and not
right,
only
Tamra.
that,
I think he's running multiple apps and they're conflicting with each
Yeah,
other.
that's
Which is
probably
why I
what it
wanted
is.
to know
Right,
what
so-
he was running for the marketplace.
Yeah.
You're
so
totally right.
that is actually a known issue from directly from Andy when I was having this. If you have the old Zoom plugin, Elgato, the old
Yeah.
Zoom plugin for Stream Deck still on your system, and the new one, you get funky
Yeah.
behavior. So you've got to completely delete the old version if you have that on your system.
The old version was not written by Elgato. It was not written by
Right.
Zoom. It was written by somebody else, and it would conflict with the one that Andy gave
Correct.
to
So
Elgato.
yeah, I mean, I've updated the Zoom plugin on my Stream Deck software, and I've changed it, and it still happens.
So
can
if
you-
you have both plugins, the top one will be the old plugin. The bottom one will be the new Zoom plugin. You
I-
will know the difference because when you drag that over to your Stream Deck button, it will look just like the one in the Zoom meeting, where it's a faint white outline and it's not a solid blue and white box.
Yeah, so Arlie, this is all I have for Zoom plugins right here.
That's the old version. So go back to plugins and look for the Elgato
If you
one, because it
right-click on one of the
physically
buttons-
looks different.
If you open it up and right click on one of the buttons, we can see what version number it is. Then we can see what it is
For the software.
for the Zoom plugin. So if you go back to the Zoom, just a second. Sorry to take you back.
All right.
Go back to the right hand side. Go down to your Zoom. Oh yeah, call your Zoom up. That's fine. Put your mouse over one of the buttons. Now right click. Okay, that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
It's 1.0 point something is the new version.
Mhm.
That Zoom
Okay.
plugin
What-
3 is the old one, the old version written by the other
Right.
guy.
So what I would
before-
do is
before they came along.
delete that, remove that first. So right click over the Zoom and just remove it altogether. Actually uninstall it is what you want to do. Go to your settings.
All right, hang on a second.
So go to the cog
Yeah,
wheel.
yeah, you can do it there. If you right click over the
Oh, if you
mute
do it-
toggle, you can get the option to uninstall.
Pete, just a quick question before you start deleting things. Do you know what you want to reinstall? Do you want to do a screenshot? Does that layout mean anything to you?
It's just stuff that I've set up here for just generic Zoom stuff here. So,
Okay.
So can you put in the chat the other version? Can
So
someone do that?
why don't you share your screen?
All right.
And the first thing I would do is delete that old one.
All right. Can you see it? All right.
Yep.
Uninstall
just-
this.
Yep.
All right. All right. Okay.
And so now you're going to go up to the colored icon in the top. Yep. Click
Yep.
right there. And that's going to open your browser.
Yeah.
And then
And
if you want to bring your browser over so we can see that, or maybe do a new share if you just chose to share the stream deck. I'm not sure how you did that.
all right,
So
I'm
now,
on
yep. So go ahead and
Marketplace.
search for Zoom.
You guys freaked me out with this quiet. I came back and nobody was talking. I tested my speakers. I'm
That's
like,
the one.
What's going on? Why is it so
Okay,
quiet?
this one.
That's the one. Zoom by
Yes.
Elgato. That's the right one.
All right.
Now, the only concern that I have, guys, is that he only unchecked in the right-hand side.
He didn't uninstall.
Correct.
How do you do that?
I'll show you when you get there. Don't worry.
Can you teach me how to be Zen like you? That's your only concern in life?
Right.
Called focus.
That's why we're all quiet, Frank.
That's because you live in the joyous place called Canada, where we have no concerns.
And plenty of
But
fentanyl.
but snow. But snow.
Okay, something new just appeared, and let me change the screen sharing here. So on the right, there's the old Zoom plugin, and this is the new one here. Down lower.
Yeah, if you go to uninstall one of them, it'll uninstall them.
Okay.
I have a serious question.
Do it on your panel, not on your buttons. Right click on one of those old
No,
ones.
right click at the ones on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want one that says version 3. That's it. Uninstall that and it'll uninstall the
Uninstall that.
plugin.
Is the Stream Deck just a little Linux box on the inside?
In a way, yes. But it can run. It runs the Elgato apps can be JavaScript or C++.
Yeah, Frank, I'll go one step further. It's basically, think of it as a MIDI interface, because because the buttons themselves are dumb unless there's software that it knows how to talk to the buttons.
Yeah, but it's got like a motherboard and a CPU and probably some small amount of RAM. No, there's nothing in there. How does it work?
No, it doesn't go that far. No, because if you want to Linuxify it like that, or you want it to have a brain, a lot of people will actually put a Raspberry Pi underneath it.
Oh, that works better now.
Yeah, because it's using the real one, the right one now.
Thank you. When you leave the kitchen, would you clean the sink for us? Thank you.
I don't
Take
do
out the
sinks.
trash.
I don't do sinks. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Next time we get a Zoom bomber, let's call that taking out the trash.
I'll make sure to put that in the report.
Mike took out the trash.
I wish there was a way you could send 11,000 volts of current through the internet to that person's, that Zoom bomber's computer.
What else do people have? What are we talking about?
I'm in a coma from all the excitement already.
I am too.
So am I. Can you imagine getting 4K recordings from your speakers? This is going to be amazing.
With Final Cut Pro XML. Amazing.
Right.
Yep. I did order that vertical mouse, by the way, while we were talking.
Which one?
The vertical. It was. I don't
You have
remember
gas.
the make, but no, I don't. It's
You
just,
do.
I
You
need.
have gas, man.
No, can I tell you something? So this is the MX4. This, I mean, this was gas.
Yeah.
This is the Logitech MX4, and I'm also using whatever it's called, where the mouse used it on multiple computers. It's completely unreliable. I'm constantly losing my mouse. It's so frustrating.
You have gas and high WAF.
High WAF?
Are you, Dave, are you using, what are you using? Are you running multiple computers right now in one mouse?
Yeah.
What's the software you're using?
So I have Synergy, but I'm not using it right now.
Okay.
I'm just using the built-in Apple, move stuff around or share. Yeah.
I have Synergy myself, and I also have a KVM switch. But it's only for the mouse and keyboard. That way, once in a while, if there's a hiccup, I can manually switch it from one computer to another. It works fine.
When Dave goes home at the end of the day, all the lights on his street shine a little brighter when he shuts all his stuff off.
I don't know anything about what you're talking about, but I need to know what mouse you're using because I'm what you just ordered. I'm looking for a mouse, so I'm curious.
All right, so I just ordered. Wait a second, I gotta print this out. I just ordered. I mean, don't buy it yet. I have no idea if it's any good. I haven't gotten it yet. I'll only be here on Tuesday. It is. The hell is it? I just ordered like 600. See, now my mouse just got stuck. Why am I spotlit when I don't
You're
have my
trying
mouse?
to terminate it. No wonder it's stopped working.
Oh yeah, it's fighting back.
I did put a link in the chat.
Yeah, your mouse is from Star Trek, isn't it? You went to the future and stole that.
It's an Anker. The one that I just bought was an Anker USB wired vertical mouse. See if I can open it. Is it going to open? It just looks cool. I don't know if it's any good. It's only $18, so
I've looked at that one.
Concerns me a little. I don't know. We'll see.
This Corsair one has too much going on, right?
All I care about is that I want it plugged into my computer. That's all I care about.
So I bought this really expensive mouse for like $9 or something, but it changes colors. That's the most
party
important.
Mouse.
Yeah.
Does it have all the buttons though?
That's a gamer's mouse. All the gamers' mouse.
But does it have like lots of buttons on it?
Ray's does. Check out Ray's link.
Can Tamara send that to her customers and get to change the colors on their mice automatically from her desk?
When she's angry, they turn red.
Oh man,
I'm also
alive!
left-handed,
Wait a second.
Which is another.
Look at Ray's. What?
I know, it's from Star Trek.
Look at all the buttons.
If you have enough dexterity in your thumb to reach those buttons, you can actually program them to do other, macros.
Oh my
things.
God.
Not on my right hand, on my left hand, maybe.
Corsair, is that it?
Yeah.
It's the scimitar, yeah. But it's the best feeling mouse I've ever had in my hand, and I mean, I only let them. They only last about 2 to 2.5 years for me because I do a lot of game stuff with clicking, and eventually the click switch kind of, I don't know, gives up the ghost or whatever.
And you don't need a Stream Deck because you can just program every button to do the same thing as a Stream Deck.
That's crazy.
And I've got a Corsair keyboard, and I've got Corsair other things which all light coordinate, and they'll do rainbow colors and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. Everybody in my family has those. But the fact that you can do extra buttons, and the other fun thing is just upward of the scroll wheel are 2 buttons where you can change the DPI registration of how far you move the mouse. you can actually change it so that if I move the mouse a half an inch, the mouse on the screen will only go a few pixels, and then you can basically make it so that when you move it a half an inch, it goes all the way across the screen. So
Can I
it's
get
got
it?
some capability
David.
of doing some things that
David, think about this. David, take a deep
This
No,
is,
breath.
this is
it's too late.
David
It's too late.
Count to
proving
10.
It's too late. I'm going to
Frank's
get
point.
both on Tuesday. Next Friday, we'll do a live comparison of the $16 one and the 40 whatever dollar. That's it. God, all those. But I mean, I just want the
You
buttons.
literally
I'm not even going to
just
map them to
proved Frank's
anything.
point.
I'm not even going to map them to anything. I just want the buttons.
Next week we have a new format. We're no longer discussing Zoom. We're just going to talk about Dave's purchases for the
Mice.
week.
But
David,
it's
do you know what-
wired. That's really the only thing I care about. Is that it's
Yeah.
wired.
It's wired, and do you know where you're going to plug it in? Because I thought you had an overload of USB ports.
No, I'm okay. I think I've got one. I've got one plug available.
Can you adopt me, Dave?
Yeah, sure.
Have you got a USB-A port available?
I'll get one.
I'll find one. I'll find a USB port.
David, do you know what I like?
Studio
most?
Dave will
recording
start his
will be-
GoFundMe.
Studio recording will be supported in Webinar Plus, Hasmuk says. I do meetings, not webinars, to take advantage of the recording at the far end. Can I run a show like meeting with Webinar Plus? I'm in bed listening. Hasmuk,
Make everyone a participant.
Yep. You
Or a
make everyone a
panelist.
panelist.
Everyone's a panelist.
right.
And then it's just a regular meeting.
We don't know whether it's just webinars or whether it will also do meetings. Well, that's a detail that is not.
That's my question, because with all the all the Luminal apps, for example, you have to have a webinar license, but you don't have to be in webinars.
Yes, but like Production Studio, you have to be running a Webinar Plus to use Production Studio. I'm pretty sure it's going to start in events because these things tend to do so.
I'm happy if it starts there. I'm hoping it does eventually become so easy on their end that it can migrate into other things, because I think that would be amazing.
I do get the feeling they're wondering about this Webinar and Webinar Plus issue, because there's quite a big gap now between those two products.
Yeah.
Between Webinar and Webinar Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of features and there's quite a lot of pricing as well between the two. So
John has his Simpson hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, John.
This is old news. Let me lower my hand. Coursera, which you are now improving their bottom line, opened their first retail store in San Jose this December. And if you want to freak out, you could go there and try every one of their different mouses and keyboards. They did a grand opening, and they gave their Action keyboard, which is a $250 square that has buttons that people use. I don't know all the issues. If somebody goes Coursera, you could see it. Long chain events. I was missing Black Fridays when you get up in the middle of the night, but I showed up at 8 o'clock for a 10 o'clock opening. They already had 75 people in line. By the time they opened the store, there were 200 people. And it's an interesting crowd that goes shops at the Coursera store. I'm just saying that it wasn't my demo graphics.
Yeah, they sell gaming computers and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
But luckily, I won't have to spend dollars. I could just go back there and just put my hands on every mouse, and a much different display of mouses and keyboards than you get at your normal Staples store or Best Buy.
But just coming back to your mouse a second, David, do you know what I like more than the keyboard on the side? The headlight in the front, so you can see where you're going.
You're on mute, David.
Sorry. I kind of like how the wheel is not in the mouse, like it's set, like it looks like a drag racing car, like you've got a wing on both sides and the wheel in the middle. Oh my Lord.
It's very easy tactily. I do have a news update. I did ask Josh, I told him we have a lot of excitement here in the ZTK around the sound studio and Zoom events. Will it only work in webinars or also in meetings? And he said, meetings at first, webinars will follow shortly. They are
That's
doing it meetings first. The first step is to be a podcast style recording solution and then go from there.
Yay!
So
But now I'm confused.
that's
Hold
Christmas
on.
early.
So that
if
means
you are doing,
so
if
that
you
means
are
it's going to
doing
be
a
like
recording,
wait a second. But
Yeah.
just I'm thinking about the licensing. So what he's essentially saying, I think, is that the light this is not a Zoom Events product. This is a Zoom Events license that you need. It's a meetings product at first, is what I just heard.
yeah, so it will only be enabled in meetings. It will not be something you can do in a webinar.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's fascinating.
That crowd
Okay.
goes wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a done deal now. That is
Wow.
amazing.
Ray, just say that one more time. Only in meetings that are in an event.
That's interesting.
So the question that I posed to him was, is it in meetings or webinars only? Because I thought, we all thought webinars only. It won't be in meetings yet because that's too many people. And his answer was meetings at first, webinars fast follow. He did not really give me any indication kind of one way or the other of, is it just in an event or not? But if you got the license, you should be able to do it.
Yeah, but you showed information about Zoom events. It sort of indicates that it's in meetings within the events platform.
That would so far I'm not aware of anything that you get with Zoom events that you can do in standalone meetings. Only really backstage and production studio and webinars.
I mean, that doesn't really make sense, though. Why would you record a podcast in a Zoom event? I mean, I could make
a single session. Yeah, a single session.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Webinars plus with that's a meeting.
To sell more events licenses?
Well, of course, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's two completely separate and really good use cases, aren't there? There's at the meetings level, there's the people who want to run podcasts and want high quality production. And then at the webinars and events level, there's the people that want a really high quality production that they can then produce from after the event's finished. So webinars is first. Web meetings is first, which is obviously why they need to. You need to ask for it because they can't globally just given X million people a webinar's 4K version. All their computers will break down when they record it.
And we've been waiting for a while, so I'm excited. Go with them.
Yeah.
I have to head out, guys. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Thanks, Tamara.
See you, Tamara.
When do we get 4K meetings?
Is that? Do you think that's important, Frank?
For a fraction of people who want to record it and do things with the recordings.
Right. Well, but you don't need 4K meetings if you have a 4K camera and you're doing a double-ended recording. Wouldn't it record in 4K?
Yeah, I guess, but
yeah.
If you got a 4K camera, yeah.
Right.
But the end result, I think, will be that you will get whatever native your camera is, and if it's 720, that's what you'll get, or 1080, that's what you'll get, regardless of what they're actually feeding into Zoom.
Yeah. I think if you were going to have 4K video that transmitted, they would probably say you need a certain standard of internet to utilize it, or you won't be able to take advantage. I think that's a ways off, but who knows? I could see it because the double-ended recording, you can record locally the 4K and it'll upload to the server, right? But to do it, to transmit 4K seems unlikely.
Yeah.
I doubt it'll transmit ever at 4K. I mean,
I want 360 VR. I want the whole thing.
Yeah, that will be next. Yes. I mean, Frank, you've been playing with that, right?
I had a ticket today. Somebody was asking about using a meeting owl for their Zoom meeting, and then they asked some other weird questions about that.
Yeah, we've talked about the infamous meeting owl. This is the white owl that sits in the middle of the table, and it understands where the person's talking and it actually points the camera at it.
I gotta leave you guys this evening. See you. Thanks very much. Thanks for the updates. I don't think I'll sleep tonight, but I need to leave anyway.
Yeah, everybody's mind is blown. Yes, Robert, take care. All right, everybody on YouTube. It is opening that time of the show where we ask for input and questions and comments. Of course, you guys have been very quiet today as our panelists have been blowing everybody's mind with all the different new stuff coming out in 6.7. And everybody do the actual 6.7 with me. All right. Okay. Everybody did it. Okay, good. That was quick. All right. And yeah. John's doing it. Attaboy. So let us know in chat and I will relay it to the panelists. If you have any questions, again, the big thing that everybody's been talking about, of course, is the potential of the 4K. And I'm still trying to get my head around it too. Mr. Drinkwater.
My hand was up first.
What's
Yeah,
that? Frank, sir?
My hand was up first.
How do you do that?
I'm looking to see who was. All right.
It's because you guys do a podcast together. You cut me out. I'm looking at my calendar, and it says 2 Fridays from now is the 26th of December. Will we be joining each other on such a glorious day?
Well, as long as we don't put up our dukes and do boxing related stuff, I'm assuming it is officially Boxing Day. I don't know.
I was going to ask that.
I don't know what David's plans are currently with that.
Well, let's ask that question again next Friday.
Yeah, and you're a couple minutes too late because Mr. David has left the building. Mr. Drinkwater.
Once he makes you the co-host, I know he's leaving.
Yes, but they don't know on YouTube. They didn't see the pop-up that I did, that I saw. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Drinkwater.
Well, I was just going to apologize for wearing a Christmas jumper because I've now done some research and I found there were Hanukkah jumpers available. I could have worn that this week. And then
the difference
Christmas one next
between
week.
different cultural words, Christmas jumper sounds like someone's really sad to me, but whatever.
Okay, I'll wear my Winterval jumper.
Winterval. Oh, we're getting very UK right now. Hold on to your pants. All right, here we go. Cool. So Ray, that was a good bombshell there, sir. You're breaking everybody's mind with the 4K. Way to go. Yeah, and everybody's going, what did I miss about 4K? Even Giles is going, what did I miss? What did I miss?
It's like I read a little bit through the workplace thing. It's like, okay, well, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And I actually have my Outlook actually searches for release notes that when they come in, I get a pop-up message that tells me there's a new release note. And unfortunately, it only gives me the 7-digit ID of the release note number. And I've got those memorized now. It's like, oh, there's one from Zoom Events. I got to look at that. And that was quite a nice little Christmas present there.
Now, of course, I'm wondering if I missed anything on Josh's Wednesday meeting regarding this, and I'm going to assume yes, I did.
I didn't. Did not mention this. He did not mention this. This was very news to me when I opened up the document.
All right. So I'm not feeling like I'm only the one on the weeds going. I swear I would have been, grabbing my ear going, say that again, Josh. Say that again. 4K. Yeah. We're still trying to make sure that everybody gets 1080p around here, still here on the Zoom Desk community. So I know that 4K now. So Ray, can we hypothesize that there's going to be a 4K toggle or no? I guess it's not going that far.
I don't know.
All right.
But as soon as I have some Zoom support articles on it, I will drop those over into the Zoom Events portion of the Discord channel.
Sweet. Yeah. So again, everybody stay tuned. And of course, if you don't know what Ray was just talking about when it comes to our Discord server, do check us out at zoomtestkitchen.com and you'll be able to click on there and click on the Discord link to join the Zoom Test Kitchen Discord community. And we've broken down each product into its own sub channel underneath our Zoom once you log into Discord. So you'll be able to, if there's something specific you want to find out about events or ISO or Zoom OSC or any of the specific liminal products, we've broken those out individually. And we've also broken out all the different Zoom events, Zoom Custom AV. I'm trying to remember what the new name is, but I'm pretty sure, is that the new name, Ray? Zoom Custom AV? Zoom Rooms Custom AV?
I'm
Or
not a
is that
Zoom
the old
room
name?
guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, but again, that so Andy is talking about that product in our Discord server, as well as all the other liminal based products have their own individual, as well as Graphic Toolkit, which we were talking about last week, or if not 2 weeks ago. So definitely check that out. And Pete, are you up to date that the Zoom Graphics Toolkit? Have you
The
heard about
Zoom
this?
what? The Zoom
Zoom
what?
Graphics Toolkit.
No
So-
clue. Sorry. I
So
haven't.
base,
I've
so
been busy
basically,
doing live events the last several months.
and have they brought anybody in from Zoom during those events?
No,
Okay.
no, no.
Right.
If I do a Zoom event, it's something someone else handles the updates. I cannot do it.
Right. Go ahead, Frank.
I'm just the operator.
So this question's specifically for you, Mike.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear about the new Zoom Graphics Took kit?
Why? What did I say? Did I
No,
missay it?
Took kit.
Took?
Took kit.
Uh-oh. Are anybody getting that outside of Canada? I'm just asking. Yeah. So Took kit. Yes, we're known for our toques. What can I say? Yes, it's cold up here, and we have to keep our ears covered, so we will wear our toques. I think that's where you're going with that, Frank, right? As he disappears on me. Okay. He gave me the joke and ran. Okay. Cool. All right. So Giles, the official answer was, there we go. Oh, there we go. Got this. Oh, hold on. Everybody's reaching for their hats. Oh, hold on. All right. I've got to show this to everybody. So we're going to spotlight everybody. All right. So we got John with all his paraphernalia on. Oh, hold on. And Frank's still looking for his hat. There we go. All right. There we go. So all the Zoom champions are showing off all the gear. I haven't got my gear yet, but there's a reason, and I won't get into it. But there is a reason I haven't got my gear yet, but I'm working on that too. And Ray, you're not wearing any of your gear today. I know all four of us.
It's hanging over here. I had it in some meetings this morning, and then I changed clothes during the day. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. And of course, yeah, Pete. Yeah, Pete. Yeah, that's the toque we're talking about. Exactly. Yeah. So what Pete ended up showing us was the infamous Bob and Doug McKenzie. So yeah, reference. Yeah. So they were wearing toques in the picture that Pete sent us. Unfortunately, I can't send that to you on YouTube as a link, but you can probably figure it out if you know Bob and Doug McKenzie. Cool. All right. So Giles, just to give you a quick update about the 4K stuff, this is within the Zoom events platform coming soon, aka Monday. Yet to be determined if all the features will be there on Monday too, right? That's fair, right? It's there. It's in the notes, right? It's the infamous, it's in the notes, but we're not sure if it's.
And again, I think something that David and many of us have probably alluded to is that the fact that it does end to end is it will probably capture whatever your camera's putting out. It probably will not necessarily. I mean, obviously it will grab whatever your camera's putting into Zoom because it needs part of the Zoom app to do that. And then if you are participating in a meeting, it will probably downsample that 4K to 1080 or 720 or 360 or whatever it's been commanded to send upstream. But it will record, I think, we'll see, the native camera resolution locally and then upload that for you.
Right. So right now, as far as what you've seen, there's nothing specific within the workplace app allowing for 4K.
In fact, I missed the 4K piece the first time I read through it, and when I was going through it again with a finer tooth eyeball, it was like, wait, 4K resolution, really? That doesn't happen anywhere in Zoom land. So
Right. That is when I was hearing you guys talk about that today. I'm going, as I've been dealing with the YouTube audience, I'm like 4K.
But if it
What
was
am I?
recorded locally,
right.
who cares if it's like your computer can handle recording 4K, hopefully, and then it's just a file transfer.
And the fact that you're going to get raw audio. So if they've got, stereo or, any other stuff, you'll get raw audio, not noise abated audio necessarily, which may or may not be what you really want, I guess.
You can always do your own noise reduction later.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
But nobody does it as good as Zoom.
Yeah. Mr. Drinkwater, what did you find about 4K?
John's frozen.
Sorry, I was singing "Nobody Does It Better" from James Bond.
Moonraker.
No, you put something in chat that
We'll
was
start our
important.
own movie called Zoomraker.
John, you mentioned something in about 4K is currently available in.
Yeah, the only thing I know that processes 4K at the moment is the Zoom Rooms devices. Everybody else takes it in as 1080. So there's going to be.
Unless you screen share, then it's whatever the resolution of your desktop is.
I wonder if the ability to take in resolutions is something hidden in 6.7.
Yeah.
I can imagine being at like working at Zoom, and they've been killing that joke for like 2 weeks now. 6.7, 6.7.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. So Giles is actually asking, he says, well, 4K begins the question 32K, 64K, 360. Yeah, I know, Giles. Don't go down that slippery slope. Let's get to 8K first, even when in their normal scenarios. But 360 is something. And Frank, you're the only one that I know that's got the hat that actually has the goggles. So, any Zoom
There's a Zoom.
functionality?
I think there's a Zoom app for VR.
Is that the
Yeah,
Is that the
Vision OS.
Oculus ones?
Yeah, well, there's lots
Oh.
of different companies besides Oculus, like besides Meta.
Yeah.
There's a version of Zoom for Vision OS.
Mm-hmm. And if anybody wants to send me one, I would gratefully accept it.
Well,
If you just have one lying around you're not using or something.
Has anybody seen the announcement of the new Steam VR goggles?
I do VR all day long. We have 100 VR headsets, so we talk about stuff like this all the time at work.
Yeah, I figured you would know. But yeah, my family of 3, we each have a headset, and the original index was $1,000 a piece, and so we're heavily invested in that. But this will be, battery powered, wireless. They're saying $500 to $600. I don't know. What have you heard, Frank?
Nobody knows. There's lots of speculation. It'll be 900, 800. Nobody knows.
Yeah, Giles is saying, is it called Steam Frame? Is that what they're calling it?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting nods here, Giles. So good job. Yeah, so Steam Frame is what the guys are just talking about here. That's cool.
Have you ever done? I guess you would have to own one first. Have you ever used Apple TV with Zoom?
No.
Oh, I have it on mine, but you have to use your phone as the camera. But a lot of people have an iPhone, and they have an Apple TV in their living room, so it's like an appliance that you can just have a Zoom meeting in your living room.
Do you have to have the personal Zoom rooms to do that, or just a regular straight Zoom app?
Just regular. It acts like a Zoom room, though. People who connect to my employer's Zoom account, I can see their devices when they're doing that. I've never tried, but I think I could try and manage them, which would make a lot of people angry because it's their personal hardware. I've never tried, but there's controls there for me to see about it.
So does the interface change, Frank, on the phone between the Apple TV? Oh, what is controlling it? Is it Apple
The
TV?
Apple TV is controlling it. It's really
Okay.
just because the Apple TV doesn't have a camera or a microphone, your phone becomes like a webcam for it.
And it's using which technology to bring that in? Is it just bringing it in over the network or
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi? Okay.
You're on the same network.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it makes an ad hoc network, but it can definitely use your houses, like your whatever you have in your house. But maybe it could do an ad hoc network. I haven't tried.
Cool. So Apple TV box, iPhone.
Well, I bought
preferably
one of those portals right when the pandemic started, and those are all e-waste now. I still have it, but you can't do anything with it.
That's the Facebook one, right?
Yeah. So the idea was, it's a cheap box. You put it on next to your TV, and you could have a Zoom appliance in your living room, so you could use your TV as a giant monitor and talk to grandma or whoever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I must have the wrong version because I didn't get a grandma with mine. Never mind.
That was the Grandma 2.0 upgrade. Only special people got it.
Very cute. 2.0.
Have you ever set up a Zoom room?
Have I ever set up a Zoom room? No.
I've done it just with a Mac Mini and my personal equipment. I like nothing professional, but when you set up a Zoom room, obviously you could have a very expensive video conferencing room with all the stuff, but you can either get an appliance, like there's lots of them, Yealink and all these other things, or you can use a PC or a Mac and it just becomes dedicated to that one task. You can't use it to surf the web or do other things. Now it's a Zoom appliance until you allow it to not do that anymore.
Right. So it comes with its own operating system and everything, Frank, right? Or is it still
no, it
utilizing?
uses the like on a Mac. It becomes the only app that's really being run on your Mac OS operating system.
So it turns it into like a kiosk.
Yeah.
Sorts.
It's
right?
it turns it into a dumb appliance at that point.
Right. That it Zoom and only Zoom and that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're in a corporate situation and now it's obviously on the network, you can manage 1 or 100 of them remotely through the Zoom admin tools.
And what does that actually need a Zoom Rooms license or can that be regular?
Yeah, you're supposed to have a Zoom Room license.
Well, there's a thing called a personal Zoom Room license. So if you're going to use one on like an iPad or something like that, you don't have to have the $45 a month Zoom Room license or whatever with your enterprise license. But yeah.
I gotta think that would be if you did that in a corporate situation, I think you'd be violating your end user agreement. If you're just using it really for a personal thing like it's intended, that obviously that's legit. But if you tried using it as a corporate device, then you should probably have a corporate license. But I don't think they would come looking for you. I don't know them. Anyways, we used to have a Polycom video conferencing system, multiple of them actually, and there's this thing called the Zoom connector. It's an add-on you pay for, and it turns your video conferencing system to be Zoom compatible, so that now instead of using SIP, if you know what SIP is, session initiation protocol or whatever, it instead uses Zoom's servers and everything.
Right. Oh, okay. Giles is actually saying, he said, I did a Zoom room to get NDI support. Okay.
Yeah.
But when
you also with a Zoom room, you also get more outputs. You can have more than 2 displays, and you can decide what display is going to have what thing on it. Like you can say, I want to always see the person speaking. I always want to see the document or the share, and you can also have other things that you can assign to when you have a Zoom Room license and the right hardware.
Right. Right.
Just
Yeah.
dropped a link in the chat, which has the understanding Zoom room types and license requirements. And I mean, all I knew was there were Zoom rooms and there were personal Zoom rooms. They have a kiosk, which is for the virtual receptionist, a scheduling display only, digital signage only, standalone whiteboard, companion Zoom room, and a companion whiteboard.
It's funny that you brought that up. Last week, I was reading this article about these restaurants in New York and other places where you go up to the front, and also hotels and other places, and there's a virtual attendant. They're not even, and they're like in the Philippines or somewhere, and they're manning 3 or 4 different front desks. So you walk up, and they're the hostess or host is there, but they're not. They're only virtually there, but they're there all the time, and they're based out of another country where they can pay a lower wage. I don't know if Zoom is doing that or what technology is behind it, but it's just I can't imagine, like, is that our future where every place you walk into a hotel, there's nobody behind the counter, there's just some guy on an iPad or whatever.
Well, they're saying that with a lot of AI stuff right now.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of the
Hmm?
fast food places that I go into have the, they don't even take the order at the counter anymore. You can either do it on your app, or if you walk in, they'll point to the thing over on the wall, and you get to put it in over there.
Rotten Ronnie's got a test kitchen that's robotic. They don't have any staff.
Wow.
You go to the drive-through or go up to the kiosk, and food comes out of chute if you pay.
Is that a Canadian thing, Rotten Ronnie? I've never heard of that before.
The Golden Arches.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
I got it.
we've come up with a bunch of different acronyms for the yellow M guys.
Yeah, gotcha.
But yeah, the one of the latest yellow M locations that I saw that it just opened up in downtown Toronto, actually, as a matter of fact, it's a really, really small little location compared to where they used to need massive locations where it'd be sit in. So this was basically 3 kiosks. You go up to eat, you had choice of the 3 kiosks, you went up to the desk, or when so where you would normally order became now just where you're getting your order. Now a lady comes from the back with your order, here you go, goodbye, because you've already bought and paid and everything. So everything is done. Even the card swipers are underneath the actual kiosks.
This is a big aside, but basically what I've always heard is that that company may sell food, but they're really a real estate company. They're a real estate company that sells food, right?
Yeah. There is, yes, that. And there's also another one that makes those flat little things that we call pizzas, Frank, that have the name twice because you didn't like it the first time. So we have to call it, we have to say what you're eating twice. Are also known to be rumored that they are in the real estate business more than they are in the food industry.
A lot of those companies are going out of business because the stock market a segment of the stock market has decided that the land and the stuff is more profitable than selling the food, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very, very true. And how did we deviate onto that? Because we're using kiosks and Zoom rooms.
Kiosks, yeah. Well, it's a well-rounded show. We don't just talk about one thing. Right?
That's right. So, Mr. Drinkwater, how did you get your graphic in front of you?
He stole it from Zoom.
I don't know. Are you overlaying something that we don't know about?
Zoom has a
you'll have
collection
to
of
tune in on
backdrops you can
Tuesday.
get.
You'll have to tune in on Tuesday.
Didn't you recently have a Zoom baseball background that Zoom was making available on their website if you wanted to during the Major League playoffs? They had all the different teams' Zoom corporate backgrounds, and you could get them if you wanted them.
Let me see.
Somewhere on Zoom, they've got Zoom wallpapers that they'll let you download. I've seen them. I haven't gone looking in a long time.
Well, this one was supplied to the Zoom community forums, like that one was as well. But I like that one. That's the best Zoom background I've ever had from them.
I don't think I've seen that one. That was pretty cool.
Let's just celebrate the movie when it came out.
So I believe Frank is talking about this.
Yeah, if you go looking around Zoom's website and poke around long enough, you find some interesting things on there besides support documents.
Yeah. So this one, again, when Blue Jays were in the World Series, I had brought this up a few weeks ago. That because again, there is, as Mr. Idelson knows, there is an agreement in place between the MLB and Zoom.
Maybe Mr. Idelson can explain something to me because he's a smart guy. I remember I showed the link for the Zoom white paper.
Yes.
So today I also found a Zoom blue paper. What's the difference between a white paper and a blue paper?
That's a good question. How much it reflects? I think normally talk show hosts have blue on their desk because white would be bad, and I have no idea.
It's a good guess. I don't know.
But I'm going to ask somebody, and I'll let you know what I find out.
I could Google it, but it's...
Well, that's a worthwhile thing because I used to do a lot of white papers. So white paper versus a blue paper. You and I teach in the academy, so we all know about blue books.
Yep, blue books. I know what a blue book is, yeah, for sure. I'm going to find the blue paper. I don't think it's proprietary. And I'll post the link in the chat to the blue paper. Is this it? Anyways, smoke them if you got them.
Now that wasn't them just being cute because that is a very corporate blue, is it? It's not a Zoom corporate blue, is it?
All right. That is not it. Anyways, yeah, I found it. It's about artificial intelligence and Zoom.
Well, Zoom has had some very good news about their artificial intelligence recently. But AI just doesn't tell me a lot.
AI never snitches but on its friends, that's why.
Never snitch it.
Let me take a look in the link in the chat.
Sorry, I had to fix the link because where I'm at, we have this safe link thing that makes links 5 million characters long, so I had to get the original link, so I didn't do that.
Because I just pulled up the backgrounds, which I don't need. Boy,
artificial intelligence blue paper. Okay.
I don't see that there. Okay, now let me go to it.
So for everybody on YouTube, I just put the link in chat. So go ahead, Frank. Or is that John?
Oh, why is it a blue paper? Like, is that a new thing, or does that have a connotation that I'm not aware of? Obviously, I'm not aware of it, but...
I don't know myself. Yeah, no, this is
so AI tells us a AI blue paper or blueprint is a strategic guide or framework for implementing, governing, and understanding artificial intelligence within an organization or sector, covering everything from practical applications like Zoom's AI features, novice development tools, SANS security models, to ethical considerations like the White House AI Bill of Rights and business adoption strategy, the economic impact, Home Depot acting as a roadmap for success and risks in the age of AI.
That's very interesting. So anytime I hear someone talk about a blue paper, I should immediately think AI?
No.
Well, they seem to be trying to push that way, but they also call it blueprint, and I've heard about blueprint. Let's see. There's a number of these put in here.
So here's what Perplexity tells me. I asked it specifically about, I'll get all those other things off of there so I can see what I'm doing. what's the difference to Zoom between a Zoom white paper and a Zoom blue paper? A white paper typically focuses on a specific topic, feature set, or concern, like security or an AI companion privacy. And a blue paper is framed as a broader, more strategic, big picture guide for an entire line of service like Zoom Phone or Zoom Contact Center. And I dropped that link in the chat.
Thank you.
And
I had never
and
heard the term before today.
and our White House, we in the lower stories of the house where the Canadians are in the attic, the White House has a blueprint for AI Bill of Rights, and I think, and there was a SANS security blueprint. So I think maybe there's an attempt of getting away from a blueprint and calling it a blue paper.
Yeah, so I just am YouTube chat for everyone. That is the Perplexity link that Ray just gave us. If you're curious.
I'm going to have to run, guys, but it's been great, talking about great things coming, and we'll see what we find next week. I'm gonna do some testing.
Thanks for telling us about that. That was really interesting.
Absolutely. Yep. Sounds good. Talk to you guys later.
Take care, Ray.
So Frank, do you on your campus refer at all to a yellow paper?
Here's what I'll say. We may. I just haven't heard the term.
So for a lot of, when you're doing academic papers before they go into print, that was a preprint, and sometimes those are called yellow papers.
Interesting. I haven't heard that term before either, except in the context of McCarthyism or something.
Or professors having notes that have so old that they've yellowed. That was the...
That I have seen many times. Did you ever have any colleagues who had very old notes and they would take like a highlighter or something or different colored paper, and every 4 years, like this year, the answers to the exams will be the yellow ones, and next year will be the blue ones, and then back to the beginning of the rotation after 3 or 4, like once all the colors had been used?
I've seen that.
Yeah, I will say that I have colleagues who did that, although the campus I was on, it wasn't a really big fraternity sorority campus, but they had social houses. And at one point there was a issue with one of the, it wasn't a fraternity sorority, but it was a social house, and they literally raided the house looking for other things, and they found the file cabinet with 10 years of exams.
Oh, of course, yeah. Now the LMS just shuffles the questions, so you don't have to deal with that, but yeah. That's pre-LMS days, I guess.
Although in one academic program, they were talking about how the way they were dealing with AI and technology potentially allowing for cheating or plagiarism in exams is they're back to the old, come to a room, sit down, and we're going to hand you a blue book.
Blue books, yeah. It's the whole industry of instructors is talking about going back to blue books.
Non-digital? I'm curious that part of
A
it.
blue book's just basically you sit in the classroom and you write with paper and pen during the time allotted. The instructor gives you some kind of booklet, like blank paper, and no electronic submission, so that you can't do anything AI. It has to be your own generated work at that moment, in that place at that time.
So I go back to the dark ages where the blue books were handed out and they were stamped for the class, so somebody couldn't bring in a pre-done blue book. And then economics happened, and they started selling the blue books in the bookstores. So rather than having the university have to give them, but back in the day, the blue books were
what's old is new again.
Yeah,
it's all coming back. Now the thing is, people are hiding cell phones and other things underneath the blue book while they're taking the in-person in-class exams. At
one point, I did have an issue with some plagiarism, and the long and short of it is, if the students who were doing it had put a fraction of the work they did to circumvent the system, they would have all been A students. They doing it more for the game rather than the actually cheating. But Frank, how long have you been in the academy, as it were?
1985, 86, I think I started.
Okay. And how long out of school was that?
I was actually going to school and working at the university at the same time.
Yeah. We keep our best.
I did other things, but yeah. Somebody's got a phone call.
I'm going to have to take a call, guys. I'll be right with you.
I'll say goodbye to you now.
All right.
I'm going to run away too.
Okay. Take care, Frank.
Keep
Thanks for
the
joining
show
us.
going. I'll listen to you on my walk.
Excellent. Will do.
Have a good week.
You too. Mr. Drinkwater, anything new and exciting happened to you this week?
Yes.
Oh. He
Sorry,
says
did you want more details on that?
a tease, maybe? A bit of a tease?
I don't know. What did you think of Tuesday?
What did I think of our show on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
As the audience won't know, he has almost no idea what the whole show is until it starts. So it's very much a keep up if you can challenge, really, for the poor man.
That's true. That's true.
But of course, the opposite of that would be us sitting down, spending hours and hours planning stuff. And that is not a good use of time either. So it's a hard choice.
That's true. But again, production studio to the rescue. So it was able to handle all the wonderful situations that Johnny was putting us into officially. But again, it was fine. It wasn't, if you look at the archive, you wouldn't even know that there was potentially any issues going on in the background. Again, I made sure for the most part that everything was video switched properly, and we're getting compliments in YouTube. Thanks, Giles, for that. He felt it most interesting, John, our show on Tuesday.
Well, I would just like. No, I'm sorry. I can't say this in a nice way. I would just like Zoom to make it a more, what's the word? Fluid, a more easy situation. And what I'm talking about is the start of a webinar. When a webinar starts, you can start backstage and the audience are not let in. The speakers can all shuffle around backstage and get on the stage and get themselves organized. But it's that point where the audience are let in, the recording starts, and you launch Production Studio, and having it all work seamlessly at the same time, I'm not confident that that works properly yet. And I'm not sure exactly what order to do. I've actually played around with it today, and I'm still not sure in what order you should do those things. So if you're in YouTube, you've got an idea of which order you should do them in. For instance, well, you obviously get the speakers in first, but then you've got the choice of do you let the recording automatically start, or do you start it afterwards? How do you manage the connection to YouTube? Because a lot of us don't always use the built-in YouTube. There are other apps out there which we might use, like Switchboard, for instance, which allows us to stream to multiple places, but it's separate to Zoom. And so I'm not sure which one of those things I need to turn on and activate in the right order to have a seamless start to my show. But I'm starting to wonder, I would like to possibly start YouTube before I let my audience in.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do that, John, right now, can we?
No, I don't think I'm not sure that we can, because the streaming system in Zoom only seems to work when you hit webinar start, but the recording one doesn't. So if you attach it to the recording, But of course, the cloud recording only starts when the audience come in. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on the exact process. I'm still
Right.
trying to work out what is the best way of doing it,
Right.
because
And we
once
did
you've
run into that problem this week too, where it the actual Zoom app the Zoom streaming app did not want to go directly to the pub point that you already set up ahead of time. And it made
yeah,
its
I
own.
set up a switchboard, so I was trying to stream to switchboard, and I don't know what I did. Obviously I did something wrong because the world is perfect and I made the mistake, but I don't know what I did wrong to not get that to connect up. Considering I'd used switchboard to set up the YouTube entry in the live link on Zoom, on the live link on YouTube was set up by switchboard. I don't know why Zoom didn't pick up the connection. I don't know. I don't know. It should have gone from Zoom to Switchboard. Switchboard would have gone to Facebook and YouTube at the same time, and it didn't work. I don't know why, but I'm going to keep playing around with it until I have a fixed system that works, which is why we do these, of course, to test them. And then I think you tried to do a connection to do a Zoom live through the Zoom app, and then I did it through the Zoom app, and eventually I got it working. But of course, because I went through the Zoom app, it then created a whole new YouTube video for the live, and the original one just sat there waiting for an event that never started for it. So it
Right.
was all a little bit disappointing, I think is the word. But
Yeah.
I believe that the people that were subscribed to the channel would have got the notification that the other video was starting, and they would have connected to it.
Yeah. They would have, what I ended up seeing when I was monitoring as I was doing production studio was that it basically set itself right beside in the live category, the two, where the one was still waiting for us to connect, but yet the same name of the same show was right beside it and it was live.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, again, it was a learning situation. And on top of that too, we did have and John, did you find out about this week after our Tuesday? Was it related to us having too many apps connected? Because you had tiles. I'm trying to remember. You had tiles. What else did you have connected as apps? To
I
the
had
webinar?
Tiles, Graphics Toolkit. And again, I don't know in what order and when I should activate them as well, because um, it all gets a bit confusing, because in the past, many, many years ago, you could only have one app that went to recording and one app that went to streaming. And when you launch these apps, you had to choose which one you wanted. So if you were recording your webinar, when you brought your app in, you had to get it to use the streaming connection, because otherwise the recording connection was already in use. That's not true now, as far as I can see. I don't remember them ever telling us, but as far as I can see now, that limit has just disappeared. It's just vaporized. Now you can have 2 or 3 outputs going through the streaming part or the recording part. It doesn't seem to make any difference. But I don't remember Zoom ever telling us that that happens. It's just organically happened.
Yeah. And again, we ran into, so you ran into that, and it's still outstanding, I guess, trying to figure out why we couldn't actually fire off to Streamboard Live. The custom RTMP would not work.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if this is a case of I'm trying to think of the other example. I can't think of the other example, but I know there are 2 or 3 things, and they'll come to me is probably when I'm trying to do it, that you need to get the settings right before you start. It's a bit like yes, your production studio is the other example. So there are quite a few things that you must get right in your setup for your Zoom Webinar Plus or your Zoom events. And you must get those settings right in there, like, for instance, all the scenes you want in your production studio before you start the event. Even though production studio doesn't really take action until you go live with the webinar, you've got to have your scenes, all your layouts, all set up and saved before you start the event. Because once you start the event, they're locked and you can't touch them.
Right.
And
And
I
the
have
other
a
thing,
feeling that the streaming has got some of the same limitations, which is why once we started the event and we couldn't get it to work, we were pretty much stuck because we couldn't go back and change anything.
right. And what we noticed too was that if I came into backstage, once somebody came into backstage, which was me, once I came into backstage, you could not make any modifications to production studio anymore.
As soon as I open the event, I can't make any changes. So as
Oh,
soon
okay.
as I launch it, I can't make any changes.
Yeah,
It's
because
locked.
you had
If,
mentioned to me that you said, Mike, you already went into backstage. I can't make any changes anymore.
correct, correct. So if I start the event because I want to check something and then you drop in early, then I've got to kick you out if I want to make changes because I've got to stop the event, make the changes, then restart it again. You wouldn't know if I'd opened and closed the event 4 or 5 times before I went properly live. You wouldn't know unless you dropped in and caught me, so to speak, doing my prep. So uh, I might have to consciously think of doing my prepping an hour before so that when I go live 20 minutes, 15 minutes before, I know I've got everything working. I don't have to stop it. But there have been times where I've started it. I've done it for other events as well. You start the event, you pull up all the things, you do all your testing of making sure everything's working, and then you go, oh, no, that setting's not right. So you have to shut down the event, change the setting in the event, and then restart it and hope that the speakers haven't turned up in the meantime.
Right. That's why
It's not
that's why now part of
yeah.
my checklist is that, John, can I log into backstage is usually my
Yeah.
usually my question now.
Yeah. It's not that it is a problem, but it's not that I'm telling Zoom, look, it's a problem, change it, because I do like, okay, I might have a special use case because I want to be special, but in a general world, I like the idea that you get the settings right, and then once you launch the event, they're set in stone and you can't change them. I do like that as a principle. However, it does mean I've got to make sure that I've got my settings right before I go into it. And when you're in the life that we are, where well, it doesn't matter what Zoom does. We're always going to be pushing the boundaries and trying different things. Then it can get annoying if you suddenly realize you've forgotten to do something and you go back. I usually have a post-it note which tells me to record. I got so fed up with that, I now just automatically record everything. And then at the end of the event, if I don't need the recording, I just delete the recording. But
Right.
I don't dare now start anything. And also it can get confusing when you get an email from the system saying the recording's ready. And that was the 5 minute recording when you first tried it, not the 2.5 hour recording of the main event. And you just wait for another message to come through.
Yeah. Yeah. I've actually enabled and everybody at the company, I've actually asked everybody that, if you do a Zoom meeting in minimum, in most cases here, I've asked everybody if they wanted it to be on by default in their settings. And I said, some of them asked me, they said, well, can I disable it? I said, yes. But what I've done is I've forced it that it's enabled to record locally. We don't use the Zoom cloud, but to record locally at the end, and then they have the choice, of course, to if they want to keep it or not or delete it, but they just have to wait for it to finish. That's all.
Yeah, and you can pause it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure everybody realizes that. You can pause it. If you've got a recording and you don't want it running, you can pause it. And then you can resume it. So if you want to have I don't want this next bit recorded time, just pause the recording, have your conversation, and then restart the recording. You can even stop the recording and then start again, and it will start up a whole new set of recordings for you. They'll come through with the same name, but it'll actually be a set of recordings. So if you've got something where you've got an hour's gap in between, some will say just pause it, but others may say, oh, no, we'll stop the recording. So that's now saved. That's now banked, a bit like a game show. And then you restart another recording for the second half. But just remember to record the second half.
Right. Yeah. To make sure that you re-enable the recording.
I think in 5 years, I've only had 2 times when I failed to do a recording, and they were both really annoying.
Mm-hmm. And I'm watching Pete in gallery mode right now, and Pete is enjoying the auto framing functionality of Zoom on his webcam.
I am. Why
You're
did
not
it
noticing
change?
it?
No,
Oh yeah,
I was looking at another screen.
it keeps doing it. It's been noticing all the time. Every time you've sat back in your chair, all of a sudden it'll go back when you're doing that. Then when you got closer, it all of a sudden started to move on you again. Again, if everybody doesn't know about that functionality, that was potentially enabled on your workplace client with one with the previous update, not the latest one, but it was a previous update that it might have enabled auto framing. So it's basically taking your webcam feed and sort of doing what they call electronic PTZ, which is basically it's now doing a digital zoom to make sure that you're properly framed in the center. And of course, Pete, I know you are a camera guy, so
Yeah,
I don't know if you're enjoying that or not, or
a
what.
number of years ago, actually, it's great that they do this because I remember probably 5 years ago now, I did some online stuff, TV show kind of programming using Zoom and linked to YouTube, kind of like what we're doing here. And I had to sit through with everyone and make sure their cameras were framed fairly good, you know. And yeah, it's uh it's good that they've done this because trying to get people framed up, uh, when especially when they're not in uh this world of like TV broadcasts, like a lot of us are. You want to have a good headroom. Okay, I don't think the Zoom thing can do it. I mean, traditionally, the top of my head would be up here, where my hand is, kind of like where Mike is
See,
right now.
there it goes. It just did it.
Okay, I zoomed myself in a little, so. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's a great feature here.
yeah. So yeah, stay there, Pete. Stay further back in the frame. And then eventually it'll actually yeah, it was actually working for you. And then I can show you an example of me doing it too. Watch, and I'll actually do this. It's something that I've done as well as a demo on here. Is that I've got a certain still that is one of our stills from the Lord Zoom Live that we use, and it is I'll just fire it up here. So it's this one here. So as you can see, it's got 6 different faces that it's got a choice of. Well, when I enable, and I'll now enable the functionality, I showed this a couple weeks ago when the functionality came out, is that if I turn on the actual functionality of auto framing, so 3, 2, 1, watch. So now it brought everybody in. But what it ended up doing to me last time was that you see how it's now going to whoop. Now watch. And it goes, oh, yeah, I should actually have those guys in tighter of a picture. So it actually zooms in on the people where it took out the buttons at the bottom. I'll do that again. So when you see me, watch. Whoop, it brought me back out again. But watch the bottom. Whoop, there we go. It brought me in. So it just brought in the properly to frame the 6 people, not just the actual buttons at the bottom.
Oh dear, because everybody's now going to want to know how you turn on and off that feature. And the answer is we don't know, because on Monday it's all changing and it could be anywhere. So we don't know.
Yeah, but officially
We'll tell you next week.
Yeah, but officially I taught Pete as of this recording, as we are live, it is in the appearance section of in the settings section. So if you go to videos, video and effects, and then you go into appearance tab, you'll see it there. It's in the same section as where you would do touch up my appearance, adjust for low light, portrait lighting, and right underneath that with a brand new button is auto framing. And now I'm going to disable that because I've actually auto framed myself pretty good, as you noticed when it was upset. trying to go from this. I've turned auto framing off, so you'll notice it doesn't do that anymore. So yes, that would annoy me constantly. But again, for people that just have webcams that don't have the functionality, being able to do that even digitally itself, Zoom is now gone. Yeah, if you want to actually make sure yourself is, we'll through some algorithms and such locally, we'll figure out what is the best way to auto frame you, and this is what we think is the best, and it will, as you saw, gently zoom me in and zoom me out. Oh, John's getting real festive. I didn't even see you do that while I was doing the demo. And John's on mute, and I swear I got to get one of those hats, John. I'm just telling you, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm having this is what I love about this industry. Yeah, these companies get some whinge from somebody who's got the power to make changes, and they say, well, we want this feature, or we want that feature, and people throw it in. But you really don't know what the feature is going to be used for until it appears. And as users, you see a feature, but until you start playing with it, you don't know what a difference it'll make. And in this case, vMix did something really small. They said, well, at the moment, you can have one video and then you can have 4 overlays. And I thought that was enough for me. But then this year they said, no, we're bored with 4 overlays. Let's give you 8 overlays. So I can now have 8 different video elements that I drop on my screen. And I'm only using 3 at the moment. So if I turn them all off, I've got a little version of me in a little box. As you see, my hands disappear because I've got a defined box of what I'm going to do. And then I can have a background, of course, but now I've disappeared. So what I'll do is I'll bring myself in as overlay number 4. So here I'm as overlay number 4, and I've got the Happy Holidays as overlay number 1. So if I have a higher number than 4, like if I have number 6, it's in front of me. So that's in front of me, that's 6 in front of me. And if I put in this 2, that's over the Zoom background, but behind me. And suddenly I'm thinking that playing with 4 overlays on top of each other wasn't enough, and I'm now having fun with 8.
vMix was asking who actually will be using vMix, will be using all 8. So John, you definitely have to report that to them.
I'm getting there. I did think if I wanted to really show off, I could have had my trees and my food as 2 separate ones. So that would have made me that 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have got me up to 5.
That's true. Yeah, you could actually have each individual food if you wanted to as its own overlay there.
And I could tell you how I
cool.
did it as well, but that would ruin what I want to show on Tuesday. So I'm not going to tell anymore.
Ah, there's that. I said I just wanted to tease. That was a good enough tease, John.
Did you like that? That was a Tuesday tease. We have people booked in. As I think I sent you a screenshot. We have people booked in. So on Tuesday for Lord Zoom Live, you can watch it on YouTube. Hopefully we've worked out a process to get the YouTube channel. Well, it will be on YouTube. Hopefully it'll be on the YouTube channel that I've declared for YouTube, but it will definitely be on YouTube. However, we've got a few hundred seats left for the audience. So if you want to join Lord Zoom Live, go to lordzoom.com. You can book yourself in and you can be one of the audience. The advantage of being the audience is that you could be invited to the stage, or you could put something in the chat and we could have a conversation. You might be turned on audio wise. That's always possible. If you're in the actual webinar, then those things are available to us much more easy than trying to hold a conversation with somebody in a lag talking on YouTube. And yeah, I've got some good ideas for next year. But tomorrow week, the next event is all about showing the discoveries that I've sort of taken on board in the last year from doing Zoom events and the sort of little tricks I've been playing. And I hope that nobody in the audience will actually understand all of them. I'm hoping to impress everybody in the audience with at least one. They might not all be impressed by the same thing that I deliver, but I'm hoping there'll be one thing there that each person there will at least not know about, for their sake, because it takes a lot of time to keep up with all this stuff nowadays. So that's the end of my blatant plug.
All right.
Or all my little overlays in vMix and the other stuff I'm up to. But I make no apology for doing it, because we're being encouraged by Zoom to play with Zoom as much as possible and show what's possible, because otherwise they won't know what to do next. And as I said, these companies add features for a particular reason. But once the feature's out there, it's amazing what other reasons and uses people put them to.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait for Tuesday's show, John. I can't wait.
I can. I've still got a bit of work to do to have it ready.
You can wait. All right,
I can wait, but it's Tuesday does creep up on you really quickly when you're planning stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing, especially if you take the weekend off. What happens?
Yeah, that's not allowed anymore.
Isn't that the truth? Understood. All right. As I put in chat, last call for questions. Any questions for John and I, or if anybody wants to dig into what Pete's been up to over the last little bit while he's been away from us, let us know in chat and we will ask away. Before we wrap it up for this week's edition and get ready for next week's edition of 6.7, and how many actual Zoom products actually, and John's doing it too. There it is. Yeah. It's that infamous 6.7. Oh, there it is again. Okay. All right. 6.7. To make sure that everybody understands and be here. If you've taken the update and you have issues, let us know in chat. If you're one of our panelists and you're part of our Zoom test kitchen community, as far as Discord is concerned and such, and we've already validated you, you could join us live to actually explain all your woes live to us as well. So we look forward to, if you do have any problems that we might not have run into and you've got some real world work, especially if all of a sudden you have things scheduled this week that all of a sudden this was okay in the previous version, but all of a sudden now that feature is there or isn't there for your event or meeting or webinar plus. We definitely want to hear about that next week on the Zoom Test Kitchen.
But questions, please, not whinges. Because if Zoom's done it, Zoom's done it. We can't undo it. And please don't post in the community forums, oh, I don't like this new layout. Because we can't stop it. It's there, it's done, and we just have to make the most of it.
Right.
Zoom goes forward. It's not as though Zoom chops things off and discontinues features. It doesn't do that. It just adds features. But there's a lot more coming down the path, and I can see why they would want to try and simplify the interface so that we don't feel overwhelmed with it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, just looking at the chat, and everybody is fairly quiet with us. So definitely last call for questions before we wrap it up for this week's show. And John and I will be on Lord Zoom Live on Tuesday. The Rundown show, David will be on Thursday on the Rundown show. And then we'll all meet back here on Friday on the Zoom Test Kitchen. So check all of our individual shows out if you have a chance this week. All right. And officially, John, I do not have a Christmas version yet of the closing music.
That reminds me, I need a Christmas version of Lord Zoom Live as well, don't I? Okay. Can't tell you off.
If you want to add more stress for Tuesday, between now and Tuesday, Sumu away. There you go. You heard it from me. Sunu away. There's the word. Gotta make sure that we turn it into an adjective. Sunu away. There we go. And on that note, everybody's very quiet. So on that note, we'll wrap it up for this edition of the Zoom Test Kitchen. And it's time, it is that time for everybody to do the Zoom Test Kitchen karaoke.
Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks, we'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with these. So if your meetings lag or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back. No wreck. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back. No wreck.
All right. We've got your back. No wreck. That's right. Thanks everyone for joining us this week on the Zoom Test Kitchen. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to let YouTube know how much you love our content. Don't forget we're here every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. And for everybody else in different other time zones, please check your local listings to match up to those time zones. See everyone next week for the 6.7 version of another edition of the Zoom Test Kitchen. Take care, YouTube. Have a good week.